is audio at its finest. Hello, mate.
You're alright, mate?
Yeah. It's alright, you know.
It is.
We're in person.
For the first time.
First time in channel history.
First time in channel history, and what? But how many times have we seen one another in real life?
Do you know, I said
I feel like it's more than you'd remember. It's more than you'd think.
Is it? I still think it's on one hand. I think it's
be.
grand total of 5, if that.
I feel like 5 is a safe bet. 5 is.
So there's now. There was last time we saw each other.
Yeah.
And then there was New Year's, which was like 2 years prior.
Yeah, a long time ago.
And then there was probably, I want to say, party at Andy's.
The first crackdown that I came to. So it's 4.
So and then there might have been one other like that where it is 5. So I don't think it's been more than
I think it is one hand. Wow.
That's insane to think about. Considering that's like 4 years, 3.5, 4 years.
But considering when I think about like how much time we've spent, like either just from me watching your streams originally to me being in Germany and the two of us doing those Stardew streams.
Dude. Those are so iconic. I still wish that there was some way to like get the memories of those to now, because I still think the racing the McDonald's drivers is one of the funniest things that we've ever done.
It was so good considering I'd hyped up the German efficiency
and I shat on the English.
And then yours came in what must have been 15 minutes and mine was an hour and 30 or something like that.
It was fantastic. And I'm so proud to be English in that moment, because I thought you lived above a McDonald's essentially.
It was. I could literally see the McDonald's from my window if I hung.
That's insane.
Hung my head out of my window, I could see it. And I remember partway through our recording, I did hang my head out the window, and I said, "I'm pretty sure I couldn't see anyone in there."
Oh God! Right. So what are we doing then?
So I guess this is potentially the first of many, but may just be the first and only.
It could be. This might not happen again for another 4 years.
In 4 years' time, you may get a follow-up to this, but this is our podcast.
It's high craft without the craft, and without the other bit.
Yeah, it's...
Because that's illegal.
It's
and we can't do that.
Drunk... It's not even drunk craft. There's no craft. It's just drunk.
It's drunk in my dining room. My undecorated dining room.
It's drunk in the undecorated dining room with an assortment of beers here.
An assortment, which we will be ranking through and through.
Yeah, we've said we'll give it a little rank. Well, we've got beers. We've got some cider. So there's different. There's like lagers, stouts, ales.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch, and usually I would say you wouldn't mix all of these in one session.
It would be pretty dangerous to, I think, generally. Yeah. But that's what we'll be doing.
and we've only got about 6 topics. I think a couple of them are actually double ups.
But then again, I think inevitably what will happen is we start on the first one, a couple of tinnies get sunk, and before we know it, we're talking about something entirely different anyway.
In fact, I've started creating a list of what we've got, so we can rank them. That's literally what I was doing. Guinness is also on the list.
So yeah, we can run through quickly now.
So do Erdinger first.
Hand reveal.
How would you pronounce that? Is that Erdinger or is that
Erdinger? Erdinger is what I'd say. Weissbier.
Weissbier.
Erdinger Weissbier.
Leffe.
My favourite beer of all time. I'm pretty sure we mentioned it before, didn't we? It comes in the wine glass.
Got honourable mention to Inches. We only got 1 can of it. So we'll share that.
So we'll be sharing the 1 can.
Guinness. From a can. Not people's favourite way to drink it.
Not the normal best way to drink it. However, I'm a big fan of Guinness at the moment.
Yeah, and then we got Doomie. Notch's fave.
Notch's favourite. Oh, wait, which way?
The other way, towards the camera, actually.
That would probably help, yeah.
And then what else we got? We got, what's this big wave golden ale?
Whatever this is.
Dunno. Saw it, bought it.
Yeah. I think we went into the shop and we were looking for the most colourful non-recognisable.
We wanted other ones, but we got denied because I didn't have my ID on me. So we have a vendetta against Waitrose.
Against Waitrose. New enemy of the channel is Waitrose.
Fully. We got the cider, whatever that one's called. I don't know. I can't read it.
Not sure what it is. But
Somerset Sheppey's Cider Farm Oak Mature. Oh my God.
It's not really in focus, but I think the main reason we picked it up is down there. It says 7.4% volume.
I'm calling it Sheppey's Vintage.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting.
That'll be a nice one, and I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I think that's what we've got. But
yeah, well, fuck it. That's what we'll do. So where do you want to start? I'll leave it up to you.
Good question.
Oh, this is nice. What the fuck is going on there? I did not know it did that. Oh, that's so fancy. What the hell?
Where do we want to start? Do you want to start heavy or lighter?
I don't know if I...
Or strong or weaker?
Because when I go out, I wouldn't normally pick a stout. I wouldn't normally pick a Guinness.
Oh, see, I wouldn't normally, but I've gotten into it.
A lot of the football guys love a Guinness. Yeah. Like when we went out for like our get together, they were like, "Oh, or you get a pint of Guinness," and I was like, "Guys, I was gonna get like a pail." So I don't know. Maybe I'll start. Maybe I'll start heavy to get mine out of the way.
To be fair, I think Guinness, because it's not like fizzy.
Should we do you want a glass?
Yeah, I feel like we should probably glass these.
I'll grab them. We're so unprepared. I thought we were as well.
I think Guinness is a good place to start because it's actually the least calorific compared to lager.
Insane statement.
It's only 154 calories, whereas your normal beer is going to be like 200.
Oh, fuck, we've run out. I'm using coasters to prop up the camera.
Right, yeah, we have a little bit.
You can have the cunt one.
And also, because it's not fizzy, I think it's just a...
Oh! I didn't expect that. Because it's not fizzy.
He says it's not fizzy right as we open it, and both of them fizz up.
That is fantastic.
Okay. Oh, you don't know the technique for pouring.
What do you mean? It's a can. What do you mean?
No, let me show you.
No, you're gonna do something. Are you able to do it on? Oh, I don't know if the glass is big enough. I mean, you're gonna have to keep an eye on it.
So you have to like.
Oh my god, dude!
Slowly.
I know if I do this, you're gonna have to. I'm telling you, mate. Please be careful. My camera is right next to me. I'm totally impressed by what I'm looking at.
Okay, I think there's too much liquid.
Just give it a spin. Just spin it. Yeah.
That.
I mean, that was impressive, actually. Now, I want to do that, but I'm worried that I will not quite have the technique. So you were saying, give it like that, and then slowly raise it.
And then slowly raise it up is supposed to be what you do.
Okay, I'm not doing mine on camera. Fuck that. That's how things go wrong. That's how things get broken.
And I managed to spill a minimal amount of it. I'm just gonna quickly grab.
Yeah, dude. I'm just focusing over here. Mine doesn't quite look the same. Ooh. Oh, see.
See, I think you're doing a good job there.
Well, look, it didn't go horribly, so that's better than it.
Right.
Well, look, it didn't go everywhere, so that's good.
So there we go. First drink.
Where's oh, hello.
2 bites of Guinness.
Cheers. I don't know. Hopefully that was caught. This little clink. Oh, that's nice. That is lovely.
I never normally got behind Guinness as a drink, but I think
I remember having Guinness once with my dad when he made a cooked breakfast, and he was having one, and he said usually you'd have a Guinness with a cooked breakfast.
What, in the morning?
Yeah, well, it was like 11.
Okay.
But it was a Saturday, so I think for him it was just like he wanted to have a cooked breakfast and a Guinness, and since I was there, he was like, this is what you do. I must have been like 14.
Get them started, yeah.
And, well, think about it. I basically never drank Guinness again. So it probably had quite a profound effect.
Put you off for life.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the fact that it's not like really fizzy and doesn't like make you feel 400 stone after you've had like a couple of them.
Yeah. Do you know, it's an interesting thought.
I always think that lager, I just feel about 20 stone heavier after I've had like literally 2 of them.
I think it's also because I'm very aware of the fact that when you drink multiple beers, you feel like you're a 50-year-old man who's been drinking nothing but alcohol his whole life.
I feel like I've got an England 3 Lions tattoo, a shaved head, and 1 gold hoop earring every time I drink like 3 lagers, and then I'm like, I can't do this anymore.
Are you good at splitting the G?
I always overshoot it. That's my problem.
I'm an undershooter purely because I'm not very good at doing things like that. I feel like I get in my own head and then I think about the taste and then I think about like, am I able to swallow this alcohol?
Am I going to drown?
Am I drowning in stout right now?
I always undershoot it because I was told from the very first time I had one that it's 4 big gulps. So I always do 4 big gulps and overshoot it massively. But if I do 3 gulps and then a small one, then I'm nowhere close.
I just don't think about it logically like that. I feel like
there is a technique because there are some people who can do it every time.
Did you add your?
I've just put it at the back.
A little crushed moment. There we go.
I'm getting hand reveals.
2 Guinnesses added to the. Well, we haven't finished them yet.
You go in the top left here.
Top left, top right. What?
Little Guinness counter that you're going to edit in. Tick.
Oh, don't make me do work.
Drink counter. Tick.
That's like a little ting. Oh God. Will I be able to keep up? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, yeah. I'm looking forward to this. I think it might be awful.
We'll see how it progresses.
I don't see how it could be worse than anything we've already done.
That leads in quite nicely.
That leads into our topic of, hey guys, where'd the views go? What are we doing wrong? Let's blame ourselves first, and then let's shift into blaming everyone else.
Okay, yeah. So if we blamed ourselves, I think the break was probably not ideal.
Yeah.
I think we really hit a roll with like those first, when the Stardew and the Baldur's Gate were coming out and the Minecraft had picked back up a bit and we were hitting a roll with them again, and then I disappeared for like 2 months.
Yeah, but there's nothing we could have done about that.
No. But if we're going to blame ourselves, I'd say that's
You could also say, though, blaming ourselves, well, we're just not doing enough, like episodic content. That's not YouTube anymore.
No, I guess
YouTube doesn't have like episode 1, episode 2. They have like...
It's like, so I created a bed out of marshmallows.
So something happened in The Sims.
Yeah.
Hey, this other thing happened in The Sims, but that's episode 2. But I hate titling. I don't know, maybe it's laziness, I don't know.
Maybe.
I just think like finding something interesting enough to make the
point,
the thing that brings you in. Like you read the title and it may be, we built a what in Minecraft, and you might go, I wonder what they built, but then it's just 40 minutes of us just talking about Cillian Murphy's knob.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I don't know if I'd want that as the title, but equally, maybe that is a good idea.
And what we actually built was just like a small bush.
Yeah, it was nothing special, nothing noteworthy.
No.
But then if I wrote the title as We Built Nothing Noteworthy, I feel like you wouldn't click on it. You'd look at it and go, that could be funny, but I've actually got other things to do.
Yeah.
And then you go and do them. Whereas like when I watch something on YouTube, I see a title and I go, yeah, do you know what? I'll watch that now.
Yeah.
Which is the difference. And I feel like our videos don't have that. I'll watch that right now. They might. I wonder. There's probably some analytics of like how often the videos get saved in someone's watch later, or if I don't know if there was some way to see that. I'm sure there'd be more people who do that, not They probably don't. There's only like 940 odd of you. So chances are that doesn't happen.
No.
But how I imagine it is people look at it and go, oh, Baldur's Gate 3, I'll watch that when I've got time.
Point, yeah.
And then they just never do.
Potentially. I don't know. We had a very brief conversation about this earlier, and I said I think there's been a clear shift in whether or not our videos are showing up in people's recommended or suggested. Because to go from like whatever it was, like let's just say one of the Stardew video, both of them hit, like the first two I think hit
1,000.
1,000.
Which is for us like that's top quality. We've done that. Like that was like, oh shit, it hit 1,000.
It means they're doing well.
Well enough to where we wouldn't think about it again.
Yeah, and then 3 was like 80. I think.
I don't know.
It might not even be that. It could be less.
Check? Let's look. I'll get it up.
Either way, very low in comparison, and I think surely there's not that many people who are like I'm actively not going to watch that again because they clearly didn't do well enough the first time.
I don't know. It's an annoying one.
I think they just might not be getting shown to people.
We're on 947 subscribers. How long have we been on that? I feel like it's been 945, 946, and 947 has been like...
We've been on that for
they've been like back and forth between each other.
So Stardew 3 was 40 something.
Yeah. No, Stardew 3 went to 920, but that started slow.
Stardew 4, sorry, was what I was thinking.
Stardew 4 20 edition. See, I tried to mix up the title to hopefully get someone who hasn't seen it to go, that's something that's funny. But I don't know, it's interesting how the views just kind of like dip. Like Baldur's Gate 3, like what about that title? What about that thumbnail didn't work? I don't know.
I just think it must not be getting pushed to people. And maybe that's slight arrogance on my part, but I just feel
but it's got to be the case though. Like it's not, because we've got 900 subscribers, so minimum it's being put in 900 people's sub boxes.
Yeah.
And I understand not everyone checks their sub boxes. I fucking don't.
Yeah.
I look at my homepage where it shows me what I want to watch.
Recommended.
Which is great. YouTube clearly figured out that most people don't fucking click on subscriptions. I used to. It used to be my bookmark was to my subscription box, but now it's just to the homepage. So fuck you, YouTube, because I feel like you fucked this channel, YouTube.
I think the recommended got too like addictive that then.
And they did get good at recommending.
Yeah, they got good at recommending videos.
Do you know what's really fucked up, right? So we're a channel where we don't get thousands upon thousands of views, right? So I'm quite like, man, why aren't people clicking on the videos and getting all like what we talk about it or whatever? Yeah. But when I'm on YouTube and there is a channel which has like 800 views and it's in my recommended, I usually look at it and go, that is probably not good enough.
Yeah.
Which is so fucked up.
I was literally in bed the other day and I was watching some YouTube. I always watch like a bit of YouTube before I go to sleep, just what I do. And I remember a video with like 25 views came up in my recommended. Yeah. And we have videos that are on less than that. And I thought, 25 views, that video must be shit. And just scrolled immediately past it.
How messed up is that? Isn't that like a weird perspective that we're gaining there? Like, you just don't think about it.
Hypocrisy, probably.
And you know, because the other day, it was weeks ago now, when we were looking at like who subscribes to us. Yeah. And we were thinking like, these people have been here since like, you know, sub 200.
Yeah.
I could not imagine myself, like, it sounds weird because I suppose I could see myself subscribing to someone if they had less, but if their videos were that good.
Uh-huh.
But when it's just like a gaming channel, to look at someone's channel and go, you're on sub 200 and it's you and your mate playing Minecraft, I believe in you, and clicking subscribe. That's crazy. So I've got like this respect for the people that subscribe to us, but I have zero respect for the people that are trying themselves.
It's very
Which
much...
is not their fault, and I suppose it's not my fault. It's like,
very hypocritical, but it's just kind of the way... it's the way a lot of people must think, though.
Because it's limited time in the day, and like I spend a lot of time on YouTube. Like when my girlfriend isn't here and I'm like playing FIFA or playing The Sims or doing something, I will have YouTube on in the background.
Yeah.
So even then, I've got like 2 hours worth of time, but I might just pick a video of a creator I already know.
Yeah.
Rather than taking a chance on a 15-minute video that I don't know from a 20-view video.
I'm going to get my screen time up for YouTube because it's going to be crazy.
Do you watch all your videos on
my phone? Yeah.
And wouldn't it share it with your laptop, considering it's a Mac?
Yeah, it would all be shared. But
thank God you can't see my screen time on Windows. Jesus.
Screen time on YouTube. Not today. Let's go like a random day in the week last week. Okay, so Monday the 8th of July. I'm not even sure how this is quite possible. I think because I was like listening to videos in the background of doing it.
Oh, excuse me, camera. I heard it make a noise. Is it still? Oh,
Yeah, it's still working.
okay.
Still all good.
I don't know what caused that. Scare the shit out of me.
I had 8.5 hours last Monday on YouTube.
Oh my God.
But it's because I think I was doing other stuff and had it on in the background basically like all day.
Yeah.
So I watch a lot, but I'm more likely, as I say, to watch a video. I'm probably more likely to watch a video I've already seen than I am take a chance
comfort video
on. But yeah, there's hypocrisy in that. But it's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah, because again, like it's like you can't help but appreciate the people that do watch. So like when we get something like 100 views, I still go like, that is 100 people. Okay, 99 minus you. 99 people who have gone, yes, I'll watch that F99 video, whatever it could be. Wonder what they're up to now.
Yeah.
That's great. Unbelievable that even happens a bit. Because we stream to 0 people, 1 person maybe.
We spent a solid year streaming to what
less than 5 people.
I think peaked at 5 people.
No, we definitely peaked at like 12 or something.
12, okay. Wow.
Doubling it.
You know what I mean, though.
Yeah. Well, but I don't know. Twitch is
it's different. It's a different beast.
Fish, yeah. But yeah, honestly, we're so close to 1,000, man. And I feel like that would be just like the mega target. Like if we hit 1,000, if it says 1K on the channel,
I think that would just feel nice.
That would just be crazy.
It'll feel good.
Considering I've like honestly wanted to do YouTube for like most of my childhood. Yeah. And I'm 25.
Childhood ended a little while ago.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I think there's maybe potentially some thought we could have about titles, thumbnails. Obviously, it's all like fun and games, but what I'm not sure is maybe there's some kind of like age recommendation or something going on behind.
Maybe YouTube has picked up on the fact.
Yeah, picked up on like the zoots and the word
maybe
high.
It's very possible. I wouldn't put it past.
I wouldn't put it past
background to like do that.
They just pick up these like keywords and they're like, oh, okay, we're like not gonna send this out.
But what is gonna change though is the type, fucking profile name. Like F99, that's changing.
So that's changing.
Hopefully, it's changed for this. Hopefully, I'll remember to change
do it before
prior to this.
Well, while you're editing this, some way, shape, or form,
it'll definitely come back.
That'll be.
I'll go, fuck, shit, yeah, I've got to do that.
Need to do that.
We've got a profile picture, which actually does lead us on to the next topic.
Yes.
Our profile picture. Hold on to your fucking hats. It's AI generated.
It is.
Uh-oh.
Controversial for some ways.
Yeah, for a lot of things, sure. For this, who gives a shit? That's my opinion. Because we're, just 2 guys playing games. Do I want to fucking pay someone out of my own money, which, bearing in mind, I don't have a lot of.
Yeah.
I've got to, pay bills and shit. So, I don't really want to just go, hey, make me a fucking profile picture and thumbnails and stuff. I just do everything as easy as possible.
Yeah.
And creating a profile picture for the both of us, which I think is important because it's you and me.
Yeah.
Like, F99 is great because it started off as just my idea, but then we started and I was like, well, I'm not going to do anything on my own.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this profile picture isn't a problem.
I think I know AIs, like, especially AI art is so controversial because people are like, takes away from artists, blah, blah, blah. But I think, I don't know, I think what we're using it for is kind of the point of, like, the point of it is it's like...
It's just a little, it's like, it just gives us, like, one less thing to think about.
At the end of the day, we would never, like, in the situation we're in right now, we wouldn't pay someone to make that. Like, down the line, if it was a big channel, we wanted something, like, super, like, specific.
Yeah.
Pay someone, that's fine. But in this situation, we were never going to do it. So either we're going to have one that looks like shit, or that we try and make, or some like shit like that. Or we get AI to make one, and it's made one, like pixel art. It looks good.
It looks quite good.
It looks good.
Honestly, give us your thoughts. Like, does it look good? Not because which one of us is Finn and which one of us is Luger?
Yeah.
Do they know that? They must do.
Do they know the hair situation?
They must do. Surely we've mentioned
I feel like we have mentioned
I'm going to choose to think that we haven't.
Yeah. I'm going to err on the side that we haven't.
Yeah, we can't have.
So, who has hair and who doesn't?
And whose sofa is that?
Yeah.
My sofa is not that colour. So it must be yours.
I've never owned a sofa.
Wow, there you go. Must be AI generated.
AI generated sofa.
So that's the AI topic. I don't know what else there is to talk about that. Our channel name has changed. Our channel profile picture has changed.
Yeah.
The banner obviously probably changes with that, which is fine.
Yeah.
The content's probably going to stay the fucking same until we can think of more things to do.
Well, yeah, realistically, I feel like we're just always in that like state of we do something that we enjoy to do and we find fun, and most of the time actually what we're specifically doing is not even that important.
No, it's really not important.
But we just do something that's fun for a while, and then when something new comes to us, then we'll do it, and we'll try it, and we'll see. Like we tried FIFA, didn't really work.
No.
Tried The Sims.
I think The Sims can have a redemption.
I think we could maybe give The Sims another go.
If there was one series you should watch other than Highcraft, which is I think the iconic of this channel anyway,
the staple of the
Twitch,
channel.
Stardew was the thing.
Yeah.
Of this channel, if you don't watch Highcraft, you're missing out. But second in line, I think The Sims 4 Stoned is like, it's just I think a niche of a niche of a niche that you never knew you needed.
What I find so funny about going back and watching those videos is there's some moments which are absolutely hilarious, but I don't know if it's the entirety of the first or the second video, or maybe even both of them, that I just sound like utter shit.
The second one, where you sound like a robot the entire
I sound so bad.
I don't even know what happened to, like, what was causing that.
I don't know, because it seems like every now and again I'll have half decent audio going on, and then there'll just be another episode where I sound like shit again.
I don't know. It was weird that. And what's annoying is, again, that was like, I think, a really good episode. There was just things that were just like so wacky and so The Sims.
Yeah.
And I feel like it perfectly mixed with like Yeg being a dance machine, fucking on the drugs, like drinking out of his head. It was just like so insane.
He was most of the time awake for like 48 hours
like
at a time.
Like that one bit where we got up at like 6 because it like came up as night on the town, and it's from like 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. for the day or whatever.
Yeah.
And he went to the club at 8 in the morning. And we did not leave until 2 a.m.
Yeah, we were there.
It was probably closer to 6.
He was there the whole time. I don't think he ate anything while he was there either.
No, and we just constantly tried. Honestly, just watch the fucking Sims.
Yeah.
I think it's iconic, mate. I think we should return to it. I do think that save is missing though. I don't know why, because they haven't changed computer. I think
Well,
it just disappeared.
It's the same thing with Terraria, isn't it? Because that seems to be the one thing that like
people seem to want that.
People seem to ask for that.
But
back
we lost the save, and I don't understand how.
We lost the save.
Because I didn't know how. The game was not uninstalled. I did not factory reset my computer. No. I did not delete the Steam folder or delete any folders. I didn't even reinstall Steam. I didn't do anything different. I literally launched Terraria one day, and I was like, why does it only say new game or like new world or whatever?
Yeah, we went to go play it once, didn't we?
Yeah.
No world for us to play. So again, it could be another one that we end up revisiting, because I think there was some funny moments in those two episodes as well.
Definitely. I think there's funny moments in most things that we do.
Yeah.
But they don't get views, so you might not think of them as like... Because when I was doing the like best of video, shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
Which is a shame that it didn't get like more views, just because like those are quite literally the best moments.
The funniest moments.
Of every single episode of anything. Like, you don't even have to watch the 40-minute episodes, the 20-minute episodes, whatever. You can just watch that and have... Get such an elite look at the humour that is on display between Yeg, Jaff, and Luke and I. It's... I don't know. Anyway, what can you do?
Good video.
I think the thing is, though, you know how every, like, creative or, you know, YouTuber or fucking whatever, you know, they always say... Just make what you would enjoy. Like, if you would enjoy it, make it, right? And so I'm thinking, I grew up watching these Let's Players and whatnot. And I just think our spin on it is Yeg and Jaff. That's it. And just, I suppose, our humour where we just annoy each other.
Yeah, essentially.
But I would watch that, and I know again it goes back to that whole hypocrisy thing. But like, I guess people have got to take a chance on these like two random dudes.
Well, I think as well it is that YouTube has changed so much. Like, I think both of us came up on very much like the same kind of YouTube, where it was people with fucking some kind of capture card. I can't remember the fucking Elgato.
They're still around. There's got to be another one. There's another big brand out there that.
It was like people had an Elgato. They would record themselves playing games, and they'd like tell stories over it, or they'd be with their friends and they'd be chatting shit, and that was it. That was like what I associated with YouTube for so long.
Yeah. I know.
And I think there is still very much like a market for it. I just think it's different than it used to be in terms of that was what like dominated the platform.
But yeah, it's all changed now. We can do multiple thumbnails to like test out, which I love that. I think it's quite fun. I mean, I think it will work better for something like Minecraft, where I can take multiple... bless you.
Oh,
multiple screenshots and see which one actually does perform, because it picks the best performing.
Well,
I don't know how it knows which is best performing if it only gets 20 views.
Yeah, I've seen multiple. Oh my god, I'm gonna sneeze again.
Bless you.
Oh god. For the most recent ones, also
I feel like we should move on.
Finished first drink. Guinness down. I feel like we have to have something else.
Yeah, I don't think I can honestly do another Guinness. I'll have to see how it goes later. Something lighter.
I feel on top of the world after that.
It's got to be like either the golden ale or the cider.
Golden ale or cider.
That's what I'm thinking.
Down for either of them.
Let's do the cider.
Okay.
Cider's fun.
We'll need a bottle opener.
Fuck! I even thought multiple times, oh yeah, remember the bottle opener. Forgot it's one of those fun boys.
One of the wine bottle ones.
Oh god. Let's just...
But yeah, so we will just continue doing inherently what we enjoy.
Now that's production quality.
As you can see in the bottom left there, 7.4% on this bad boy.
That's pretty hefty for a cider.
That's a hefty
Do you know, I once went to work with this guy. I won't name him. His name was Grant. He once... What should we focus on? Can I focus on the left? I can't tell. I'll just focus back. Fuck it, I don't care. So, are you glassing it? What's going on?
No, I'm like putting that somewhere. There we go.
Have we cheers, Don? Oh, did you? Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey. Grant, alcoholic. I picked him up from work one day because we started at 7, so okay. I picked him up at 6:45, and he walks out of his house with a 4-pack of beer.
No.
And I was thinking, okay, so you're this guy.
This is you.
You know, like this is real you. Like there was always this like element of like we call Grant an alcoholic at work, but it was because you're in a kitchen.
It was light-hearted. It was light-hearted.
You think it's a bit of banter, you know? I was always made fun of because I was young and whatever, and I would be like, well, you're fucking divorced and you're an alcoholic. But then I pick him up at 6:45 and he's bringing alcohol to work, and I thought, well, Jesus Christ. And he said to me, he was like, oh, do you want one? And I said, well, no, I'm driving. And do you know, the beers he had, I don't know where they were from. I don't want to guess because I don't want to be... It could have been, it was something like Poland. It was something like fucking Bulgaria.
An Eastern European.
Yeah, definitely. And beer. They were 9.6% or something like 9.2. It was definitely in the 9 range. Fucking and I was flabbergasted at that. And I was flabbergasted because he then said, do you wanna smoke as well? Because when I parked on the walk into work, he was like, do you want the joint? And I went, mate, listen, like any other time of day, literally any other time of day, and I will be this guy with you. But no, not walking into work when I have to handle knives and a fucking 70... anyway, whatever. That was that little story. Poor guy. I wonder how he's doing.
But probably not great.
Probably not fantastic.
If those were his daily habits, I feel like something was going wrong.
I don't know. I wonder how his kids are doing, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know if they liked him. I feel like this was a point he made to us. Anyway, this is getting like, you know. What can you do? Grant, I'm sorry, man. Not you watched this. probably drinking your Polish beer or whatever.
Grant's got YouTube on shuffle while he's drinking his Polish
and he comes
beer.
Across F99 games.
And this pops up. He's thinking, yeah, I'll have a bit of that.
Oh, God. Right, rogue topic.
Right.
When do you think GTA 6 is coming out? Tell me everything.
What will we get first? A second episode of this podcast or GTA 6?
Now that is a fucking good question. Do you know? I actually don't know. Because it's so possible for us to do this again. Like,
it is,
it's almost too easy.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where we'll fall into the trap. We'll think, oh yeah, he's only an hour away. Yeah, I'll go into fucking London, I'll see it.
Yeah.
And then cut to a year from now, GTA 6 released. We're like, oh shit, Rockstar actually beat us to it.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's exactly what happened.
If I had to guess.
Uh-huh.
Wait, what year is it? So it's 2024 and we're about to go into August.
When was GTA 5?
Fucking 10 years ago, mate. 2013 September.
But 4 wasn't that long before.
No, that was 2008.
Yeah.
April 2008.
So they
later on PC it was like...
They just really waited with
No,
5,
but to be fair though, it became a cash cow, didn't it? It became a cash cow. Everyone who spends money on that game, you've been scammed, my guys. You have. Like, you just have. They figured out how to make people pay because they give you free DLC.
Yeah.
They give you free DLC and they say, hey, you're getting all this content, these heists and all this shit. And you think, oh, that's wonderful. But the economy has been so fucked that you kind of can't do anything. You can, obviously. But... my point, fucking GTA, it's just ridiculous how they went about it. Like, I get it from a business perspective because money, is money, you know, that's people's livings, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just not cool, man. It's just not cool. Single player, man.
I feel like I've brought this up before. We've had these conversations, and I feel like I've spoken about Destiny before, especially.
Yes.
Because I will never get over how Bungie broke my heart into so many pieces with that, and then the amount of other live service games that were spawned as a result of it. But I feel like, at least from what I see on social media, so many people have been like really hyping up like Elden Ring, and like I see a lot of like they could have released this in different parts. They could have cut this off and released this as like a day one DLC kind of thing. Like, well, it's so common now though, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
You buy your Ultimate Edition and get this thing. Oh, it's only cosmetic. Like, all of those kind of arguments. They could have done so much with that, but they just... And I feel like a lot of people are appreciating, like, they just made the game, released it, charged, obviously, their full price for it, but they made a fucking amazing game. I mean, I haven't played it, but I've seen a trillion people play it, and it looks like they like did really well with it.
Is this Elden Ring?
Yeah. Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Did I mention
you said it, but I didn't know if you were still...
Right.
I didn't know if you were still... Yes, Elden Ring, yeah. Everyone's been raving about it.
Everyone loves it, and they just released the game, and they charged full price for the game, and they released the game they actually made, rather than chopping it up into small bits and charging for every which possible way.
This is where Rockstar is so complicated, because they make such good single player.
They do, yeah.
Like, you look at GTA 4, amazing, and then they were like, okay, let's make GTA 5, and the story in that was like, okay, it probably wasn't the best GTA story they've ever made.
Probably not.
But then they made online, and
I still think GTA 5 was a great game.
I mean, yeah, it was a great game, don't get me wrong. Like, it's probably one of my most played games on Steam by far. And I owned it on fucking PS3 when it came out. Which is mental.
Yeah.
I bought the game twice, for fuck's sake.
I was going to say, I owned that. It's like Skyrim. I've owned that on like 3 different consoles.
Generations.
Yeah.
It survived PS3, PS4. Is it on PS5? I wouldn't be surprised, actually.
It probably is, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
And then you've probably got people that... Anyway, fucking games released everywhere. And Rockstar, they make such good stories, right? And GTA 6, you can just tell that the story is going to be amazing. The way that they do that is obviously going to be great. Single player is obviously going to be like a 9 out of 10. It just will.
Yeah, probably. They've had enough time to.
But it's whether or not they will ever do, like... single player DLC, and not that like I'm wishing that they do, but I'm kind of wishing that they don't forget that single player exists.
Yeah,
because that's what happened with GTA 5.
Yeah,
it's like if you make DLC for online and it's beach related, just bring that stuff to single player and just make it available to buy.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to even you don't even have to give the characters the clothes from the DLC or whatever.
Yeah,
but if you then bring out a drug empire DLC, and it comes with like certain vehicles, bring those in single player. Just let us get them. Let us get them without having to mod the game, because Rockstar also fucking hate people modding. But then it's like, why do you ignore single player?
Yeah.
If you didn't ignore it, people wouldn't feel the need to mod every change into it.
If you don't, I don't know. I always think it's bad when creators don't like people modding as well, because I think the way that games are nowadays, like. Modding is such like a normal part of anyone's gaming experience. But if you don't like it, then you have to be in tune with what your fans are saying, because otherwise...
That's such a good point.
Otherwise, like, you're ignoring what they're saying, and then you're like, oh, but we don't want you to actually like make any change about this. I don't know. Rockstar, I feel like generally... you feel like you can trust most of the time, at least that they will deliver good games, and you won't come away like I've wasted my money.
The next thing though is, so it is over 10, it's probably going to be 12 years by the time that GTA 6 comes out, between GTA 5 and GTA 6 original release date.
Yeah.
But when GTA 6 comes out, obviously the technology has progressed quite far.
Insanely.
But what is going to be the next gap? And what are they going to do to fill that gap? Are they going to be doing a second GTA Online? Most likely.
Probably,
it made them
more than
fucking likely. Oh my god.
It made them so much money, mate.
We're talking like probably billions.
Yeah.
It's one of the like highest grossing entertainment products ever made. It's like behind Tetris.
I mean, people like my mum knows what GTA is. Like,
that's crazy to think about, actually.
Yeah, it's like one of those things like it transcends the niche that it's in, because it's just so much a part of popular culture.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually mental to think about what they will do with GTA 6.
It's one of those things where I've always been a big proprietor of, like, you want studios to take their time with games, films, like, this is kind of going off on a tangent, but two of my, like, favourite films at the moment are the Spider-Man animated films, the second one especially. Absolutely adore that. And they've delayed that third film, I think, like, multiple times now. But what I've always said is, like, you could rush it out and it would be shit, and what would be the point?
Yeah.
Like, if it takes however many more years, just deliver the standard that you want.
Yeah, what's that quote? Wasn't there a quote about gaming where it's like a delayed game, something, but like a rushed game is shit? Something like, it's literally exactly what you were saying, where if you put it out now, you can earn a bit of money, but people won't care. But if you delay it and make it great,
what it should be.
Yeah, people will love it far more, and they would respect you for waiting until it was done, rather than...
It can go both ways, though. Like, I remember Cyberpunk was delayed, and that still
Duke Nukem as well.
Do you
remember Duke Nukem when that came out?
No.
Dude, that was delayed for like 15 years.
Was it?
Yeah. And that game was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That game was not so bad, but it was not 15 years worth of wait. Cyberpunk was announced far too early. Yeah. Because people like CD Projekt Red. The Witcher.
Well, The Witcher 3, iconic. I've been trying to figure out how to replay that and how I want to replay that, because I really want to give that game another go and another in-depth run, because I feel like that game was so good at what it did. CD Projekt Red seemed to have it down. And then
I think The Witcher 4, they say, is going to be pretty mega, apparently.
Well, I feel like I feel like at least they're probably in the position now where they're like, we need to make sure the next one's good, because otherwise everyone will just associate us with Stickman Keanu Reeves riding on the top of motorbikes and...
Oh, God. Cyberpunk could have been so good at launch, but it was so bad.
I can just think of so many games like that, though, where at launch they could have been so good and they just fucked it. And most people don't go down the No Man's Sky route, where you spend the next 4 years.
Well, it was a labour of love, where they went and fixed it over years. And
I love that story. I love what they did with that. The fact it fell into the shit fucking hype train. The guy who made it had no media training and just started promising things he couldn't deliver.
Wasn't there that really fucking iconic image of the team with the disc?
Yeah.
And it was like a selfie with all the team. They were so happy, and then it was just absolutely shat on.
Well,
but rightfully so. I mean, it was fucking terrible at the moment.
I remember reading a Reddit thread as well where it was like everything that was promised for No Man's Sky, and then what people actually got at launch, and it was criminal. But then clearly they cared so much about that game that they were like, oh, we're going to now spend. I mean, that came out when I was still in secondary school.
That came out for. Oh God, really?
Yeah.
How old are you again?
24.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
So what year was that? 15?
It would have been 20, somewhere around there. So they've spent the last 10 years fixing that game, and they're still doing stuff to it now. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. They clearly took the hate and went, hey, maybe we overpromised. You know?
Yeah, but let's go about fixing this as opposed to...
When did it come out? 2016.
2016,
and now it's at a 7 out of 10. I wish I could look at plot. I'm not really bothered about looking that up, but what it was reviewed at launch versus what it's reviewed now, and you'd kind of go, well, that's a big improvement.
I think it's what is it, Internet Historian or someone on YouTube, I can't remember his fucking name.
Yeah.
Who did a proper in-depth look at how they redeemed themselves, and it is a hilarious story because they just got fucking shat on.
I will be honest, IGN gave it a 6 out of 10 on release, so that's interesting.
Well, yeah, I mean, for IGN, a 6 out of 10 is a 2, right?
That's a very good point. That is a very good
I don't think I've ever seen IGN give less than a 6. So
yeah, do you know? I feel like there was a video essay about how video game reviewers kind of like it doesn't make sense. Like if a game is good, but could be so much more, it would still somehow be like an 8 out of 10 or like a 7.5, and you go, okay, yeah, it's good, but like a 7, like Jesus Christ, like give it like a 5 if it's average.
Well, I think IGN's like lost its source anyway. Like I remember I used to watch, which is really ironic to think about because it's a meme. Like IGN reviews are like a meme now, but I used to watch them before I'd buy games when I was a kid.
Way, dude. No way.
I used to when I was a kid, yeah. But like, and I feel like they used to be.
Maybe I did like subconsciously, like I'd read them, but I wouldn't think about that before buying it. I would just go, oh, I want to buy this game, and I'd read the reviews, but it wouldn't be like a conscious, like I'm going to read the reviews before I buy the game.
I probably was going to buy it anyway, kind of thing, most of the time. Because I mean, I played some stinking games when I was a kid. I played some awful. I remember distinctly, I played quite a lot of this game. I think it was on the 360, and I'm not even sure if this is the real name, but I think it was a third-person shooter called Vanquish.
No way. Why does it make that noise? Camera, are you okay? Let's just check. Kadunk.
It's still all good.
It's still good. It still says it's recording.
Yeah,
Not that there's much data to be changing. It's like I may as well just take a picture.
Yeah, it may as well just be a still image with our hands coming in.
Vanquish Fitness.
That's not the one.
That is not the one.
That's it. Yeah, I can see the cover.
No way.
Video game.
Oh fucking hell, dude.
That's it. This? I remember it had like a holographic case on the like box because this was when games were physical.
God. 2017. I'm sorry, dude.
No.
Get a grip.
Was it 2017?
This is after No Man's Sky, and you're like, yeah.
No, it was definitely before that.
It might have been before on PlayStation or something.
Xbox 360. I had that well before 2017.
Okay, hang on. Vanquish Xbox 360. I need the initial release, guys. 2010.
2010.
That makes more sense. Alright, I'll take back mine.
I remember playing that, and that game stunk. That was not a good game.
I have a feeling I also played this, but I don't think I bought it.
I played a lot of that game for some reason.
Do you know what game I played a lot of? Brink.
I think I played Brink as well.
Brink was iconic, dude.
That's like unlocked a weird memory in my head. Yes! That was a good game, dude, you know. I feel like that was a great game.
It had a good concept, but the gameplay was kind of just not all there.
I disagree. I can't remember.
Does it have co-op? Does it have now? Can we?
No way. Could we play some Brink?
Do you know? Weirdly, on this topic, actually, playing games together, because we are thinking of like what we can do, like instead of just Highcraft, just What about because you mentioned Saints Row?
Yeah.
Right. I think Saints Row could be a massive one.
Yeah.
I think we play through the third, play through the fourth, play through the shitty new one.
Yeah.
There's also a game called A Way Out, which I've mentioned many times.
Yes.
Which you don't even have to own the game. We just have to be friends on EA or whatever.
Yeah.
And you can just install it and play it.
Yeah.
And that one's great. I love this idea because it's fucking split screen. No matter what. It's like Lego. When we play Lego, you see the split screen.
Yeah.
I love that shit. I think that's perfect. For us, anyway.
One thing I've had a little idea on. Also, if we can play Brink, I really want us to, because you've just unlocked a side of my memory that I completely forgot. But one thing I had a general idea for us to do was where we like. So let's say we do stick to our kind of like recording schedule that due to holidays and whatnot we haven't entirely stuck to.
Yeah, we did not stick to that immediately.
But just say we stick to that and we are recording 2 videos a week. If we do one that's like a part of our series and then we do one a week where we just play a random game. We don't have to start a series on it. We just dip into a game and just play it. And if it's good, then we can play more of it. But it's just like a new game every week.
Damn, dude. There's so many. Do you know Battle Block Theatre? That's another one.
There's so many games.
That's a puzzle platformer, and I think the humour of that game would vibe really well with just like, you know, we watch the cutscenes you hit. I think you need to get headphones, man.
Yeah, I will.
You need to be listening to the game as well as listening to me. I can't deal with you just being like, yeah, I'm deaf.
Yeah, I'm deaf. I'm deaf.
That's so fucking silly, dude.
All of my characters.
It's 2024, man.
All of my characters are canonically deaf, though. That's just the way it works. They have.
The thing is, you'll get headphones and mute the game.
Yeah, I will. That's what I do. That is the kind of thing I do.
Oh god, you're honestly toxic. The problem with Brink I'm seeing is it says single player.
But
I know for a fact you could play co-op missions, but I don't know if it's just because maybe they took their servers offline or Brink co-op PC 2024. Someone out there. Someone out Module Games. Shout out. Is Brink multiplayer active? Right. It's a bit of a dead period, but as long as you can play the game together, that would be a fun little episode. In that each game instance runs the local server. You should be able to start a game and invite your friends.
Right.
So maybe look. I think I own the game on Steam.
No way you do.
Dude, I'm a gamer. What?
I'm a gamer.
I'm a fucking gamer. Steam's downloading an update. That's iconic.
We're a little Cider update. These are going down ever so slightly slower than the Guineas were.
Oh, I've moved the camera.
Oh my god.
You can kind of see the faint line of where mine's at. You're pretty much the same.
Yeah, you're slightly lower than me. But this is what I've said. Something with a little bit more fizz in it. It doesn't go down as quickly for me as like a Guinea, just no fizz.
Guinea. My battery is on 42 and I'm very conscious of my battery. So if I have to leg it to get my portable charger, I will. Right, Steam is updating, so I will happily check if I own Brink. It's free to play anyway.
Yeah.
I'll buy the soundtrack.
Even if it was to buy, I imagine that game would now be I get it
on G2A for 40p.
Yeah, literally. I would go into GTA with the like change I have in my pocket and come out with 5.
I'd risk losing my debit card information to G2A in order to play that game.
in order for what would cost like half of a fucking can of Fanta.
For half an hour of your time, I'm happy to pay 50p for a game. Oh word. I think I'm feeling it now, mate. I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling it. 57 minutes in.
57 minutes in and a 7.5% volume.
Right, library. I'll literally live install Brink right now. I swear to God I own it. I do!
Oh my god, no way.
Does it say when I last played it? Oh, come on, Brink. Give me a... Oh, go online. That might be helpful. Yeah.
Wow, you do. That is crazy.
What? Last played it in 2017. Can we talk about that?
That's quite recent to have played Brink.
Quite recent. That's 8 years. What year is it?
24. So.
Oh God.
That was 7 years ago.
That's not recent. Playtime 34 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, didn't get much out of it.
I think I did play it on PS3. I think that's why this happened.
I had this on like Xbox 360 or whatever.
Dude, I've got the DLC. Can we talk about that?
I just remember loving that game.
Does this cost money on... Oh no, it's free to play. I want to gift it to you, but it's free, so you just have to do it yourself.
I just need to
download it. No, I want to buy more of Brink. Dude, I actually do have all DLC. Do you know how much? You could get this for £4.
Wow.
And that's all DLC. I'm not going to tell you what you get. It'll be a spoiler.
Don't want to ruin it for anyone that's still waiting to play Brink.
Like, okay, but back to the topic, like Battle Block Theatre, you love this shit.
Yeah.
It's a puzzle platformer and the humour is just silly.
Yeah.
You know, it's just silly comedic bullshit, which is why you need audio. Because the music in it is fucking phenomenal, dude. The music in this game is actually 10 out of fucking 10.
I will commit right now to the fact that I will buy a pair of headphones on my next payday.
Headphones, Saints Row,
yeah,
Battle Block.
Yeah. I mean,
they don't need to be expensive headphones either.
I think as well, just the idea.
But saying that, if you could get a good mic, that'd be positive.
Yeah, good mic.
Because then you could just have game audio and me in your ears from your laptop rather than your phone, and you're like, oh, my AirPods have died. Like you're so like it's like what the fuck, dude.
I bring the scuff to this channel.
Yeah, but then again, I'm the one that ruins the audio, so there's always
that's
that.
also true.
I'm looking at other games, like just quickly, like what do I have that we can do together? Legos. We've still got all the Lego games. Yeah. Those are good. Man.
We started playing them on stream.
Lego Harry Potter.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
And I've got both of them as well. Fuck me. Like, we really need to play them. And I got the Skywalker Saga. We've got all the Star Wars games.
I think we need to just commit to like one.
If there's 2 recordings a week, one being regular, which could be Minecraft, Stardew, Terraria, Baldur's Gate. One of the games that like we're happy to just jump in and be like, we're good. One of them has to be like, let's play Lego, let's Battle Block, let's Brink, let's figure it out, let's figure something out. A Way Out could just be like once every 6 episodes where it's just like, hey, we're back on A Way Out, we've figured it out.
Yeah.
Whatever it could be.
I agree with that.
Because I feel like, also it makes it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I love hanging out with you, man.
Yeah.
And when we don't play games, I notice it. Like I say to Polly, I'm like, dude, it's weird. Like I talk to Luke all the time, but when we don't play for like weeks, I think, why don't we just play a game? Well, that's all we fucking do.
I noticed it last weekend because I was in all of last weekend, and the only thing I had going on was the fact that the football on Sunday. Yeah, which I think we'll get to, but I was like sat there on the Saturday, like I think playing some like single player Baldur's Gate.
Research shows you love Funtown City, but wanted something.
Looking this up because it literally has a live co-op builder of a theme park.
Oh really?
So it's like Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yeah.
We're both doing something.
Both doing it
which
at the same
is
time.
Weird for this type of game.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Yeah.
Because Planet Coaster 2, this is like such a road. This is why drinks are so good. I feel like my brain just is like, hey, remember Planet Coaster 2?
Yeah.
Planet Coaster 2's reveal trailer came out. And they were like, hey, you can like share a save with someone like in game. Like, so if I had a game and I'm like, this is called the Yag and Jaff game.
Yeah.
I would build something and you would just be able to load into it, but it'd have to be separate from me. Which is like so close to being co-op, but
you'd
not.
have to be logged off
I can't
for
be
me to do stuff, and then
If I was changing something, but you logged on, I don't think you would see those changes.
Right.
Which is pointless. Which is why Park Attack got brought up.
What is the point in that?
There's no fucking point in it. The only thing I can see is like, one of those like, we both spend 10 minutes making a park. And it's like, I spend 10 minutes, you look at it and go, oh, I guess he was doing this, and you carry on.
Yeah.
And then I go, oh, he fucked up my thing. Well, I guess I'll carry on whatever he used. Or I can delete it all.
But other than that, you're so close to getting what people would want.
So close. I'll put it on my wish list.
Yeah.
Because it's just another one. I mean, hey, I'm actually working more days now, so I'm actually paid slightly closer to a living wage. No, that's no. It's not that deep. I can afford my bills and stuff. But,
well, that's what counts.
But honestly, yeah. I wish it was just a little bit more comfortable.
I think that feels solid though. That feels good.
We've got options. Saints Row I think is a good start. A Way Out is a great start because I already own it. Battle Block Theatre is great because it will probably cost fuck all, probably like £8 max.
Well, and then like Brink and some like we spoke about we could probably play fucking Vanquish or whatever. Just dip into some of these like shitty old games.
We can literally go record a Lego episode right now.
Yeah, I'm obviously bought my laptop with me, so
we could go play Highcraft right now.
We could.
We probably won't. Because it's 10 to 5 and we've got other things to do. We've probably still got another hour in us.
Probably.
We've got a lot of alcohol.
Yeah.
Hey,
we need to
cheers.
drink up. Cheers, man. And also we've got other topics of conversation. The football just came up.
We may as well bring it up. Hey, American viewers.
Mm-hmm.
I think I will try and chapter the video.
That's a good idea.
That is a big ask, and I will give it my best.
You are the laziest editor of all
I am quite
time.
lazy, but equally, because of the topic list, I feel like it'd be easier for me to be like, okay, we were talking about this then, we were talking about this then.
Yeah.
Because often maybe not in the gaming videos, it wouldn't make much sense, but we kind of jump around.
We jump around all
and like we lose train of thought.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll start something at the 2-minute mark, and then you die, and then we kind of go off, and then whatever, and then 15 minutes later we go, I was telling a story, wasn't I? Yeah, that's really funny. That's silly.
Yeah.
This time I think we've kind of kept it under control. So we've got GTA tick.
GTA, yeah.
England. We are English.
Well, you said the American viewers you can kind of tune out for this, but what I noticed, it seemed like more this Euros. I feel like a lot more American people were into the Euros this year.
Yeah, I don't want to pigeonhole all Americans into not liking football, because there are a lot of soccer fans out there.
There are, yeah.
I mean, you exist, and some of you may be fans of gaming videos on YouTube.
Potentially.
It's very possible. You may love our FIFA videos, but those aren't happening anytime soon.
You'd be one of a few people.
When FC25 comes out, let's rethink.
Potentially.
If we get in early, because oh my god, I think I told you about this. This is a tangent from England.
Right.
There's that channel Away Days. You know that guy Ellis. Love him. Love his videos. Some of them. Like, he's got a particular energy about him, and I go, some videos I watch and I go, yes, he's a British, like, he's just a guy,
Geezer.
He's just a normal fucking dude going to football games, how crazy. But then sometimes his videos are just like, I'm a bit like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Not to beef with him, that's just me. But my point is, he has a channel with his mate of his, forgot his name, he was in his ref video, you should definitely watch that, fucking hilarious, where they were refs for the day.
I don't think I saw that.
It was phenomenal. They have a channel together called The Gaffers,
right?
Where they fucking do co-op.
I think you've told me about this.
And
before.
they get suited up, and it's funny. Anyway, I refuse to watch it out of principle, but they do it, and so I'm thinking like FC25. They might bring in some new shit. They're improving, because I know you're a big Football Manager guy.
I'm a huge Football Manager guy.
I'm like dipping my toes in. I bought FC24, FM24.
Have you actually?
And I played multiple hours of it, so there's no going back.
Yeah.
I can't refund it now.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's like a lot for me, so I'm having to really space out the time I play.
It's always okay. You've got me talking about Football Manager.
Yeah.
So
well, England is football talk.
We'll get back to England, but Football Manager. It's one of those games where I think it's really hard for people that are really into games to get into.
It's a proper simulation.
It is real simulation, and you have to be you have to be a certain level of psychopath to play what is essentially spreadsheet simulator.
It is essentially spreadsheet simulator. Which part of me likes that. Part of me, sorry. Diabetes be cool.
Are we going low or going high?
Going high. Alcohol will fuck me up. Do you know what? It's actually something to consider. I'll give it a pause.
But yeah, it's one of those games where when you first get started, it's so overwhelming with everything that's on there that you and the tutorials are the worst tutorials of all time.
They honestly annoyed the shit out of me.
I learned the game with them all turned off because they just got on my nerves and didn't teach you anything. It's just one of those things where inherently YouTube is now one of the best learning resources that in existence for literally anything.
I love Zealand, man.
Oh my god, Zealand is I love that guy.
See, I watch a lot of his second channel stuff. His rants on what's going on, and I watch every now and again his FM videos. On his
I can't believe you know who Zealand is.
I'm on YouTube a lot, man.
I know. I feel like Zealand is like a niche football manager. Like he's the biggest football manager creator, but unless
and I also like the guy from Lincoln, that guy, Tom FM.
Tom FM, that guy seems.
I quite like Tom FM.
He seems like a good guy. He makes some good videos.
Yeah, but Zealand's my guy. Zealand. I subscribe to Zealand.
Yeah, we love Zealand.
Not to beef with Tom FM.
There's a lot of good football manager creators. It's a really weird space on YouTube. I'm quite into it just because I've like look, FM 22 was when I got really into it, and I had 3,000 hours on that game.
Jesus, man. I honestly wonder where you get the time. Like actually.
For me though, it was just one of those games where it was like I would be doing a million other things whilst playing it. Sure. Because it was such like muscle memory to me. It's like I can do football. I know. Okay, I've set up my training, my tactics already doing. Okay, I changed training. I praise people's training. Like, okay, it's this next fixture.
Yeah. Have you read the changes for FM25?
Well, because I still play a good amount of FM24. I still dip into my save quite a bit, but I'm quite burnt out on the fact that from when I started really getting into it, FM22 to 24, the changes just weren't significant enough for me.
It feels like 25 is significant.
25...
Which is annoying because you probably went from 20... Did you skip 23?
No, I bought 23.
You did 22, 23, 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exhausting.
I did all of them. And people in the Football Manager community like criticise FIFA a lot for like not changing and not doing enough.
Which is rightly so. But that's another point.
It's fair, but then they need to be more critical of the game that they're playing as well. But I think the whole community is kind of hanging on new engine for 25. They basically released 24 as just a 23.5 basically.
Yeah.
Because everyone's riding on 25 being this huge jump in the game. But SI can be an interesting development studio.
I think there isn't competition to the football tycoon essentially.
Yeah.
Whereas like FC, we're finally getting a competitor in that 2K are now taking over FIFA.
That will be really interesting because they dominated the basketball and American football games for a long time now.
And FC 25's reveal has happened, and they're gonna do deep dives at how they do, which is really fucking annoying actually because career mode's always fucking dead last.
Never give a shit.
As if they give a fuck, which is really, again, it goes back to the Rockstar point with single player, whatever. Yeah. FC 25, one of the directors, whatever, I don't know what his title is, he literally said, competition is good because it, something, essentially paraphrasing here, and also he didn't use these words, it lights a fire up their arse, basically.
Yeah, which they needed
which they
for a
fucking
long
do
time.
need. But then he also said something about how building a simulation-style game requires a lot of effort, years and years of effort, and you can kind of go, I guess that is true. But equally, we've been playing the same fucking game for 6 years, so I'm thinking you were lazy for maybe 3 of them, if we're being generous, and then the other 3 you were like, hey, we need to improve running styles, animations, this, that, which is great. I don't know gaming, I'm not a developer.
No.
But the fact that 2K are now hey, we're making a FIFA game, and it's going to be FIFA, people are going to, EA are going, okay, shit, maybe we actually need to care.
Yeah.
But then saying that, the reveal, I don't know, it's kind of, they've added some features and some stuff which I feel if we do a co-op thing, could be quite fun, right? The Youth Academy getting upgraded. You can now play a 5v5 with your youth players to see how they play, to see how they do, so you can see whether or not you want to keep them. And I think, that's fun. That's quite new. They are making it to where Youth Academy players look young and then they grow up,
age,
which makes sense. And you think, why wasn't that there from the motherfucking beginning? Doesn't it? I don't know. Maybe I'm ignorant to how developing works, but I feel like if I was making a game and I go, hey, you're going to sign a player who's 16. let's just randomise his hairstyle, randomise his face, randomise his facial hair, so we can have a big fucking glowing black beard with a long mane.
At 16.
At 16 years old with fucking bags and fucking crow's feet. And I'm like, okay, well, I would think, no, well, let's minimise, like, let's make the randomisation more like the two examples where they're young. And let's make the hair more like this. Facial hair.
As they get older,
and once they hit 22, facial hair is unlocked.
Some of them
something
get
like
it,
that.
some
I
of
don't
them
know.
don't.
Look, again, I'm ignorant. I'm not a game developer, but EA have notoriously been fucking lazy with all their things. But anyway, so they're adding all this stuff. Women's being added, wonderful for the game.
Yeah.
There is no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Career mode, I don't know how exciting it will be, because if you've only got the Premier League, the La Liga, Bundesliga, French League, there's no promotion, no relegation. Obviously, like women's game, it's not like professional, so it's like quite difficult to probably manage. But then it's like, how many people of the cause so many people are toxic, obviously, which is fine. People are going to be how they're going to be. What can you do? But is that going to make them play the women's career mode? They might play it once, and they might go, "Yeah, it was fun."
I think the women's stuff being added to like FIFA. I know it's coming into Football Manager and FM25 as well. I think it's wait, I've literally just, let me finish there. There we go.
Right.
The 7.4 ciders.
Out of 10, what would you give that? Honestly, I have a real number in mind. I'm going specific. I'm going point something.
I think. Well, I'll explain before I come up with a number.
Yeah, explain. Give it.
I think they.
Wait. Are we done with FC?
No.
Right. This chapter is sponsored by Somerset Sheppies.
Please sponsor. We will take definitely alcohol sponsors.
Honestly, mate, I'll pay you a £5.
Yeah.
Only that, though.
Just to provide us with some of this cider.
Honestly, give me a link for 10% off, and I guarantee people will order it. I'll order it.
Yeah, it will
anyway,
be
moving
me.
on. Yeah.
I think the cider was good. I like a kind of, not a super sweet cider, like a kind of slightly more bitter cider.
Okay, so this is kind of up your alley.
Yeah, so I quite liked this because it didn't go like overly sweet. It was strong. You could tell it was strong.
I could tell.
You could tell it was a strong cider. Especially as more and more of it disappeared. But in terms of if it was hot outside.
Oh, dude, the Leffe.
Yeah,
it's leaking.
Is it?
No, it's condensating.
Condensating.
Ah, fuck. I'll kick you.
Yeah. If it was a barbecue in summer, I would very happily drink that. So for that reason,
you just put it on top of that, like a coaster. For
that reason and the niche scenario in which I think it would be perfect, I'm gonna say a 7.25 out of 10.
No way, dude. I was thinking 7.3. Like, legitimately, when I said to you I'm thinking of a point, I was like, 7.4. No.
It's not quite a 7.5, but it's like right scenario that's gonna hit so different.
But I think what's crazy about it though is I was thinking, because not that I like a super sweet thing, but equally it was the bitterness which was making it lower for me.
Right. Okay.
The bitterness is what took it from like potential 8 to a 7.
I think it wasn't quite an 8 for me just because it's a cider, and I'm like...
You're not a cider guy.
I only go for cider when I'm outside in the sun, and it just kind of
we're inside under grey cloud.
Yeah, it's very...
Albeit it's fucking humid as shit right now. I'm sweltering.
I'm so hot.
I would love to open that window, but that window is actually really temperamental. This is a bit of an insight into my life right now. When we open that window, because of it's a sash window if anyone wants to know.
This over here, where the light's coming from.
Over that way, when you open it either way, top or bottom, basically it like unlevels. So right now it's latched, right? So they're sat like this.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's... But when you open one, they will permanently be like this. It will be like one, and you can't latch it. So you really need to like one person hold it and slam the bottom down. And when you're one person, it's impossible. It's massive. I'm sorry. Like even you would be like, like how the fuck do I?
Even big old me.
Yeah. So anyway, that's that. So the window isn't open, which is a pile of shit. Anyway.
So we're saying a kind of mid-7-ish.
A mid-7 for the old Shep.
What were you giving the Guineas?
Dude. I don't want to be a Guinness hater. I feel like that's probably like no more than a 7.5 for me.
Really?
Because I just don't think it sits right with me. I don't mind a stout. I don't mind a kind of heavier kind of thing.
It's
just not my kind of vibe.
I think people always associate it with like heaviness.
Tick.
But I find it like the opposite. I find it a lot lighter than lagers for me, unless it is the beautiful...
Are we going to split? I think I was honestly going to say if we go for the Leffe now.
I agree.
Because I was going to say I still need to keep it like light and breezy.
Here's an insight into me as a person. My dad, his favourite beer is this.
Are we just going to use...
Yeah, we'll just use them. You can wash them out maybe.
I'll give them a quick... You describe...
I'll talk about Leffe. So here's an insight into me. This is my dad's favourite lager. And I hated this for a good 95% of my life because I was never a beer drinker. But this is hands down the most beautiful beer you will ever get your hands on.
Ice?
In terms of lager.
Is it an ice moment?
No, it's not an ice. It's not an ice. But this is still quite cold, so...
Yeah, well, to be fair, it was in the fridge, whereas all the others kind of went into our bag.
This is light, fluffy, breezy. It's a strong lager as well. It's like it's a 6% volume lager.
That's solid, you know.
So it's a good strong lager. You're not going to turn your nose up at it.
Do you know what's really weird? Is it a problem? I don't know if anyone else does this. I wonder where if I'm like at a shop like we were. Obviously it's a bit different because we were like purposefully buying a variety or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you're like going out to meet your mates and you know you're going to a park and you know it's going to be in the sun, don't you go for the highest percentage one you can? Like, even though you may be going for a beer or a lager or a ale or a cider, you go for the highest percentage you can that still kind of matches what you want, as close to it.
Well, I have a problem with weak beers.
Right.
I have a genuine problem with weak beers because if you're talking about your piss, like your Carlsbergs,
your
Budweiser, like that kind of stuff. The weakness of them, I think, is partly why they taste so bad. I think it factors in to why they're so fucking pissy and horrible tasting.
What percentages do you know off the top of your head roughly what like a Budweiser or a Carlsberg could be?
You're in maximum 4%, like you're low.
Maximum. It's probably like a 3.8.
3.8 to very low 4s on like those kinds of.
Thank you.
Those kinds of beers. But like for me, it's always been like your Leffe, your Kronenberg. Like your high 4s into your 5s, and I mean this is 6%. This is a strong lager. This.
Put it back in the back. Yeah. What's great is we can, if you're worried, like if we have a Doomie or another Guinness, and you're feeling a bit worried, you got a little bit of left to go back to.
You've got a little bit of left to fall back on.
Because the fact that we've got another Guinness each and 2 Doom bars each is low-key worrying me.
The Doom bars are what scares me the most.
I'm just gonna have a little butcher's.
Doom bar is for me.
It is an amber ale, which I'm not totally against, but there's just something about it. Something about Notch, which I'm just like not quite agreeing with.
I love the fact that I now just entirely associate Doom bars with Notch.
I do. I honestly, do you know? I tell Polly that whenever we go to a shop. Oh, mine didn't. I definitely had less than you, but.
There's our not great pour, but
fuck off,
we've been drinking quite a bit. So
Prost.
Cheers. Prost.
Hey. Oh, that is delish.
God, it's a beautiful lager, isn't it?
Oh, that is lovely, that.
It's just it's light and fluffy, and it
You may have changed me. I think you changed me. I think I'm on whatever it is, Leffe?
Leffe.
Is it Leffe? Is that confirmed?
Well,
as best as you can.
In the Leffe community, there's disagreements as to whether or not it is Leffe or Leffe.
I would argue, is it one of those where if I said Leffe and people go, what are you saying? And I go, Leffe, like the blonde, fucking, the bit, people go, Leffe, right? You mean, and I go, yeah, no, I know. I just say Leffe because it's annoying.
I know, it's the other way round.
Really? You think Leffe is the annoying...
So I've always said Leffe because that's what my dad's always said.
Leffe.
But
where's it from?
It's Belgium.
Ow, that's so annoying.
What have Belgium ever done?
Chocolate.
Other than chocolate.
Lin.
Other than chocolate.
That isn't Lin, as far as I can tell.
And Leffe. They've got nothing.
Lin and Leffe.
They've got nothing.
Are Belgians predominantly French or predominantly German?
Both.
Fuck off.
They're both. It's like.
Aren't they? Fuck, I don't know. I can't remember.
I feel like there's slightly...
Are they French speaking or are they German speaking but a lot of French?
They're slightly more French influenced,
right.
I think.
That's annoying. Anyway.
But...
Let's finish off the FC conversation because we've got to get back to England, which I think
I can no longer remember what I'm saying about FC, so I feel like we just move on.
I've written here, bringing back features that piss me off.
Mm-hmm.
There is one that pissed me off because...
Go on.
So FC 24 comes out.
Yeah.
When you start a game, whether it be career mode, whether it be kickoff, whether it be Ultimate Team or whatever, it goes from... there's like a little cutscene of like your players in the dugout, like,
Yeah, all of that stuff.
Kickoff. Where is singing a national anthem? Right. Where is the players walking out onto the pitch?
Yeah, okay.
Where is the displaying the trophy? None of that. Disappeared. And they claimed it was because people would play the game and they would skip the intros.
Yeah.
But in FC 24, there was an unbelievable amount of player feedback where they say, why would you take away
a feature?
Why would you take away match intros? Like showing the lineup, showing the players doing all the little walkouts that they do. For even a cup final, like, okay, if they took it out for league games,
fairs.
Well, maybe I would give them the benefit of the doubt.
You can handle it.
Cup games and Champions League. Why would I not want to feel immersed for a game which prides itself on immersion and feeling like you're in the game and watching these players play, watching Bellingham fucking do his Bellingham things? I'm sorry, you fucking deleted my immersion. Because even now, like when I play FC 24 and I play with mods and I play with like as many kit updates and transfer updates and all this shit, and even then, you just go from like I'll click play game, and then it's kickoff. Yeah. And you're kind of thinking like, what the fuck? And FC 25, they're bringing it back, and the guy, the director, claimed, from player feedback we brought it back, but now you have the option to skip it. And it's like, hey, motherfucker.
But you always had the option.
I think you can opt out. I think it's
right.
Okay, skip it might be a wrong phrase. Yeah. Opt out. You can turn it off.
Turn it off completely.
Or leave it always on. Right. I wonder if they'll have a... Hey, EA, if you're fucking listening, there should be an opt out. Sure, delete it all. Yeah. There should be an always on. For every game, you get a walkout, you get the national anthem, whatever. And then there should be... like cup games, where it's like round 5 and onwards for the FA Cup, and then quarterfinals onwards. Give me the walkouts. I want to feel like this is the biggest fucking game.
Well, going back to Football Manager, the song for the Champions League is in Football Manager. So when your players are coming out, you hear the champions.
That's amazing.
Like you hear all of that.
Oh my god, dude, I love that.
As it's starting, and again, like sometimes you'll you'll be in your 24th season of your Football Manager save, and you'll be like, I've heard this a million times.
But you need it though.
But then you get to the quarterfinals, and you're like, this is the first time I'm here. This is the first time I've ever played Juventus or Bayern Munich. Like, this is huge.
It's insane how like that translates really well to like my FC. I want to keep saying FIFA. My FC gameplay is where I had a season at United where I was playing Ten Hag. I was being Ten Hag. Okay.
You were stinking up the gaff.
Yeah. I was doing so bad in the league. It was like really annoying. Yeah. Where every time I faced City, I would lose. Well, okay, twice. But you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't beat them. Liverpool struggled. Yeah. Arsenal struggled. I was like, this is honestly bullshit.
Call the Arsenal.
But Champions League football.
Yeah.
I was a different beast.
Yeah. A new man stepped out.
Honestly, it like freaked me out at the beginning. Like, I walked the group stage and thought, well, this doesn't make sense because I'm really fucking struggling in the league.
Yeah.
I think I went out in the FA Cup to like, I want to say a championship side. Okay. So I was really fucking annoyed.
Yeah, that's irritating.
Yeah, it pissed me off, and I thought, but whenever I step out in the Champions League match, it felt so special.
Yeah.
And I won the Champions League. Spoilers. Spoilers from my own gameplay.
That's not been recorded.
I got to the final, and I thought to myself, I was like, this is honestly the biggest game of my career. If I had the walkout for that, I think my heart rate would have been at like 200.
Well,
because I was so frightened. Because if I didn't win the Champions League, there was no European football.
Yeah.
I was that bad in the league that I was like, if I don't win now, it's game over. I'd have to like force myself to leave United.
Here's my Football Manager claim to fame, which is like my version.
Go on,
of this.
yeah.
So I managed Bath City that was FM22, the one that I had 3,000 hours.
Did you carry it over?
No.
Was that possible back then?
It wasn't possible in that game, and also I'd like finished the save.
You had your time.
So I managed Bath City. I took them from what is the bottom tier of English football in Football Manager to the Premier League. Was in the Premier League, and for so many years came like
within spitting distance.
Close to winning for quite a while, but was just never quite there. Like, one thing about Football Manager that's a meme is United always end up amazing. Yeah. Like, the creators
not that I'd know
of Football Manager are clearly United fans because they always end up like fucking
even now.
Yeah, winning. They always end up being
that's
really
so
good.
Weird. So weird.
But I got to my 2035 season, I think it was, and ended up doing a Premier League and Champions League double, first time winning both. And when I tell you, so it came down to the last game of the season. I had my laptop hooked up to my TV downstairs in my university university house. I had a shirt and trousers on.
Of Bath City. I love that.
I had my two mates sat on the sofa watching, and we were playing the final games of the season and then played the Champions League final. And that's when it's like the openings matter, like the song playing, seeing the lineup, and like all of that ambience matters for those kind of moments. The vast majority of times, like these fucking Ultimate Team YouTubers that are like, we're going 40-0 in squad battles or whatever, weekend league, whatever the fuck it is.
I'm so glad those aren't even like on my YouTube.
No, they're not. But I know.
But they exist.
I know they exist.
They exist.
And they're gonna skip through, and they're gonna open their packs, and they're gonna get an icon and not give a shit because it's not the optimum icon or whatever. But for people that aren't just playing the game in such like a... For people that aren't playing games in such like a min-max way, those kinds of things are so important for immersion and enjoyment.
Dude, I'm crying right now at the thought of it. Do you know, didn't you have a game with Andy at some point?
I did, so yeah.
I have, a part of me is considering the fact that we should one day, not as like a series, but one day spend like 8 hours starting one. And I can cut it down and make that like our time in FM.
I love Football Manager, so
I know you do.
more than happy to do that.
And I'm so happy. I would like be so willing to see you take the lead in such a massive way. Like it would be like I know fucking 2%, and you're then even you probably know like 80%.
Yeah.
Would still be like, whoa, like this dude, you have knowledge.
Yeah. Well, I've just spent so much time in the game, but I feel like FM25 would probably be a good point for that. Because I think there's going to be a lot more eyes on the game because it's grown so much through console as well. Like through them going on console, the player, like active players, has doubled from the fact that
FM25 is changing a lot due to console players. I remember reading.
Well, yeah, just the game in general seems to be getting better because they realise that like not everyone's playing it on 40-year-old laptops now.
Yes.
And like there's a console player base. People want a better quality game. People want to see a player and be like, oh, it's not just like 2 pixels that they've made into a player.
Unity now, right?
It's Unity Engine.
Or was it always Unity?
No,
they're switching to Unity.
It's now on Unity.
Okay.
And yeah, no one's seen anything yet in terms of what it's actually going to look like.
That is weird. I think, do you know what? It does bring me back to FC25 because people are annoyed that they've taken out positions, which seems weird. I know, your face tells a big story.
Right, okay.
But people are so brain dead, right? Because, not to call you brain dead, that's, let me explain.
Yeah.
So like, formations still exist, right? Where a left wing back would exist.
Yeah.
But it's left back with like, not options, it's left back with instructions. So there'll always be a left back.
Yeah.
And you can be like, well, no, that's a left wing back. But you're like, no, it's a left back that runs up and down. Yeah. It's more like an attacking person.
It's a lot more like what Football Manager is.
It makes sense. Yeah. It's like if they're in that position, they're a left back, right back. But you can make them.
They do very different things.
Yeah. And there's another one which was like, I don't remember. But it's like positions have specific meanings currently.
Yeah.
But now it will be more like if your player is a central midfielder, they're very possibly a cam, they're very possibly a CDM.
They could be doing entirely
they're a box to box
things.
Or they're a holding. It's like it doesn't matter. And I think it feels like a good step, but I'm worried at how they will implement it because EA are just. Do you know what they've said as a feature? Oh my god, dude. No. I'm actually so annoyed. You can now have 9. Well, you now have 9 players on the bench.
Okay.
That's fucking.
That's a feature.
Hey, that's next gen.
That's a feature.
That's next gen. Up until now, I don't even know how many subs you've had. I think there was maybe 7 players on your bench.
They didn't update it when like the rules changed.
You can now. I think you can make 5 subs in a game.
But you only had 7 players on.
But you only ever had 7 players, yeah. And if you wanted 1 as a keeper, you essentially only have 6 subs. Yeah. And if out of that, it's like. You need very specific choice, but now you've got 9. It gives you a bit more freedom, and it's like, why is it taking you this fucking long?
That's not a feature.
It's not a feature. Dude, I know. You see, this is why it's annoying. Like, I want 2K to make literally the best fucking football simulation I've ever seen in my life.
And then EA get their arse into gear.
People kind of go, hey, I've been playing FIFA FC for years, and I love their Ultimate Team, and I love this. But I've always hated how the game plays.
Yeah.
And then 2K come along and they're like, hey, we're releasing FIFA 2K fucking 2026 or whatever they're going to call it. And the game, it's like how people used to prefer PES for the gameplay. Yeah. People could put up with the fact that you didn't have real teams or real players.
Yeah.
Because they could mod them in, they could put in crest updates, which I fucking love that PES actually had as a feature.
Yeah.
Even on PS3, I remember me and my brother playing PES 2014 or something, and you could plug in a USB
into your PlayStation.
You could have Man United's logo in the game. Oh, insane. Anyway, fuck, I don't know. It's just like on my mind how FC, it feels like they're making the right choices, but I almost feel like you really need to make this one fucking good. Otherwise, like, this is it. Like,
I guess this is like my business degree coming into this, where I'm like, competition is only ever good for customers. Like, businesses hate it for obvious reasons, but for customers, you don't want a monopoly. You don't
Competition breeds innovation.
Exactly.
I learned this in business studies when I failed at sixth form. I applied business, I got a B. GCSE business, I got a C, so thank you.
No failure.
No failure in the business sense. I know that competition breeds innovation, I learnt it.
It's just one of those things though. Like it's so bad for everyone when one company dominates a certain thing. It's not good for anyone.
This actually is a weird tangent. Steam, so Valve.
Yeah.
They've been going through many. I don't want to call it lawsuits, but I want to call it like problems because I don't know for sure. But I've seen a lot of headlines where it's like, Valve and Steam have such a monopoly over like the buying games on PC.
Yeah.
Right. So
like PC gaming is dominated.
If
by
you PC
Steam.
game, you own Steam.
Yeah.
If you PC game, you might not own Uplay. You might not own EA. You might not own GOG. You might not own. There's another one. Fuck it. I don't know.
I'm a light PC gamer. I haven't even heard of some of those that you've mentioned though.
Yeah.
And everyone I possibly know knows what Steam is.
And people say, because Valve is so well run. Oh, this was the thing. Because Valve's employees under 100.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
No way.
Do you know, like, let me see if I can quickly Google it.
No way they're under 100 employees.
Valve employee number.
Hey, Jamie, pull that up.
Hey, Jamie,
pull that up.
Okay, it says 336. I don't know how accurate is that, because there has been sources where it's like...
But there might also be...
it's literally like 96 or something like that.
It might be that some of those are like part-time, some of those are like freelance kind of stuff.
But the thing is, right, so Valve has such a fucking massive market share.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, because they're so good, right? And so Valve, what they've said is something along the lines of, they pay well to their employees because their employees are the best of the best.
Yeah.
They don't employ hundreds and hundreds of staff of junior entry-level people who are like, hey, can you sort out our website? Valves are like the best of the best. And people like Epic and fucking all this sorts, they're like, Steam takes 30% of each sale of each game on Steam. 30.
Is that that's what
that's their cut. You could upload a game to... What's crazy, right? So, I don't know how related this is, but if you were a game developer, you make a game, and you're like, hey, I'm proud of this, I want to release it.
Yeah.
It costs you £100 to put on Steam and have a developer page.
That's not that much.
But it's a deposit. Once you earn over that amount, Steam gives you that money back.
That's really good.
Once you earn over that, they give you that money back, and they are basically saying, hey, keep selling your game here.
Yeah.
Which is what you obviously want. As a game developer, you want to be like, hey, I've sold my game to 200 people.
Yeah.
I can now pay back Steam the £100, so they give it back to me, and then you're like, jobs are good. And people are annoyed because, competition breeds innovation, but Valve has done it in such a positive way. Like, yes, a monopoly is bad. Businesses all over the globe, in business studies, you learn this.
Yeah.
Having a monopoly is not great because they end up fucking the consumer.
For customers in 99% of examples.
But tell me how Steam is bad. Well, I literally could not think of a reason why I would prefer to go to somewhere else over Steam.
The biggest thing that I think when it comes to business and like monopolies and then how the consumer's affected by that is passion for what someone's doing. Like, for example, what's like quite a well-renowned monopoly that
there's probably so many.
There's so many,
but like
but
off the top of your head, it's hard to just
come to mind.
Because it's so ubiquitous.
Yeah.
With like whatever it could be.
Well, we were just talking about FIFA, so let's come to that. EA and like football games for what they had up until this obviously 2K game releases. they had such little competition from PES and like Konami and whatnot, and I mean PES stopped releasing,
especially since they went free to play.
Well, yeah, they went free to play,
and
it just completely
football, fuck off,
completely fucked the whole thing out. But you can tell that the people who are making the decisions high up in EAFC, FIFA, whatever you want to call it, you can tell that those people did not care about the game that they were making, did not care about football games in general, and that's not something that they're passionate about. Like the fact that they put so much into Ultimate Team, which was, in terms of a business sense, probably the
greatest decision.
Decision they've ever made. And in terms of business, you have to just respect what they did with Ultimate Team.
Definitely.
But in terms of making a great game, the things that they've done there, you can tell that they're not passionate about making the best game possible.
Yeah.
With Steam, like, as I say, I'm someone who I would say I'm a gamer, but I wouldn't consider myself someone that's like super into that kind of sphere. But like stuff like that, where it's like you put down £100 deposit, they could very easily, like, I don't think anyone would really bat an eyelid if it was like you put down £100 deposit and that's it.
Yeah.
The fact that they're like, once you make that £100, that's going back to you. Something they don't have to do, but it just shows that there's someone making decisions in there that's like, we want small developers to come to us. We want them to feel like they're valued,
confident in themselves. Like you're happy to give up 30% of your like profits.
Yeah.
Because Steam have given you that confidence in like, hey, we give you that 100, or you gave us that 100 to put it here.
Yeah.
Hey, but now you've made it back, so keep going.
Yeah.
And we'll continue to take your 30%. And you're like, yeah, that's fine with me.
You can tell that there's someone in Steam that feels like, again, it's such a small thing. And like, I'm sure there are a lot of developers that are like, fuck, 30% of my profits, like blah, 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 whatever. Yeah. But you can tell there's someone in that team that feels passionately about small game developers, because it would be so easy for them to be like, they gave us £100, fuck them. Like, they don't need to get that back, and it wouldn't affect them at all.
No, because Valve is probably like a multi-billion-dollar company at this point.
It must be.
I don't even know. I'm going to Google it. Jamie, pull that up for me. Steam, Valve, what's it called? Valuation. There we go.
Valuation.
Market value.
No, it would be market value.
Is that? Yeah.
Because I presume it's publicly traded.
Or just under $1 billion. Well, that's 4 numbers, mate. That's a really weird way of displaying.
That is 8,668 million.
In 2022. It does say 2024 here, but
2024.
All these numbers.
Wait, I saw.
Yeah.
I saw. 13. Valve generated around 13 billion in revenue.
In revenue, dude.
So granted, look, their profits are going to be less than that. But if they're turning over 13 billion a year, that's a.
Oh, I've been fucking focused on the camera. That is unfortunate.
That's kind of fine. We've also finished our glasses of Leffe Blonde. What would you rate the Leffe Blonde quickly?
Dude, it was good. I'll be honest.
Good.
Like, I could drink that happily.
Yeah.
Like, you could give me that in 40-degree weather, and I'd go paused.
Yeah.
You could give me that in -5, and I'd go paused.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to give it bearing in mind I'm 3 drinks in.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to give that like a 9 out of 10.
For me, Leffe Blonde 9.5.
Like, I'm skeptical about giving 10 out of 10s.
Yeah.
Unless it's to do with the Igor.
Yeah.
In which case he's literally like a 10 out of 10 businessman. But other than that, 9 out of 10 Leffe. Like,
Leffe.
Shout out.
Leffe, please sponsor us.
Honestly, give me a discount code. Send me 1 bottle a year. And
that would be enough.
I will hold it in the highest regard possible. It will be the greatest thing I've ever achieved in my life.
We love you,
Leffe, or Leffe? I don't know.
Whatever it is.
I think we're going to have to get rid of the Doom Bar.
Oh,
I know. I was gonna say the old whatever this is. Big fucking hell. Big Wave Golden Ale.
We've still got some Weiss beer.
Oh,
in the back as well.
We should probably do that.
Weiss beer's heavy as well. I think.
Oh God, should we quickly? I want to say I won't say it because my phone will go off. Flip a coin. Do we have a coin? How about this?
We can flip.
You have
the cat.
Yes. Lid down, meaning that is Erdinger.
Okay. Lid up is Doomie.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah. Oh. There's no way we're gonna get this in shot, so I'll just let it.
That was the worst flick of all time.
But it was a flip.
I don't think it actually turned.
Yeah, it must have.
But what was that? Can you?
I don't remember. Lid down, meaning this way was Erdinger. Lid up, meaning so that's a Doomie.
It's Doomie then.
It's Doomie time, baby.
The room temperature Doom bars.
Room temp. Do you wanna can it? Do you think Notch would can it, or do you think he'd glass it?
I think Notch should just put his head under the tap and just turn the tap on.
I'm gonna go get the charger. It's at 29%, but.
How long have we been going for now?
I don't even look, man.
Just under 2 hours.
No way. Are we literally Tuesday?
So, for our American viewers, I'm not sure how familiar you'll be with Doom Bar. Doom Bar is something that's quite common on tap in Wetherspoons, which is like the typical...
The British chain for drinking.
Yeah, like if you're a student, you're looking for a cheap night out, you will end up in a Wetherspoons. Even when you're an adult.
Crazy how it does that.
I think it's like light adjustment. Everything got a little bit like...
I think it's...
more shadowy after it did that. So I think it's adjusting to like the different light.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, Doom Bar is always on tap in there. It is an amber ale, which is not necessarily... It's something I haven't drank since I finished uni, which was multiple years ago now.
When did I graduate? 2 years ago.
No.
What month is it? July. So July.
You graduated
last year.
the same year as me.
I was in Manchester. Year before that, I finished.
Yeah, so I finished same year as you.
Holy shit! It's been 2 years now.
I haven't had a Doom Bar in 2 years. Well, it was probably more than that because I don't think I was going to Wetherspoons a lot in my final year of uni.
Fuck off, dude.
So. That's 4.3% Doom Bar.
Tastes best chilled. How about room temp?
Yeah, room temp.
Food pairing. Great with battered seafood like calamari, grilled whitefish or pork. Also great with Sunday roasts.
No one I think has ever had a Doom Bar with shrimp or calamari or whatever you said. Cheers. Prost.
Tastes like spoons.
It tastes like spoons.
It's actually like crazy. It does taste how I imagine spoons to taste.
Yeah.
If you don't imagine spoons to be brown sludge, it tastes like a Doom Bar.
Spoons just gives me Doom Bar vibes.
Right. FC 25 we've finished.
I feel like we've covered more than enough.
England. The Euros. Every soccer fan, every football fan out there.
It was
Euros.
Yeah, it was a big summer for being an England fan.
Bit of a weird tournament.
It was a very tough...
Because we spoke about it in one of the videos that's up now, where we were...
It was right at the beginning,
I was watching the Georgia-Turkey game.
Georgia, by the way, my favourite team of the whole tournament.
Yeah, games
Loved
were so
Georgia.
exciting.
Georgia,
Turkey as well, honestly.
Georgia and Turkey both played amazing football, came out there to actually play football.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, Turkey, in that game they had it in the round of 16, where they won. I swear they won their first game in the round of 16 that was against Austria.
Oh my god, yes, dude.
They were phenomenal.
That was such a good game.
What a team they were in that game.
They fucking played football. They play football. Like, when you watch games like that, that makes me think of the beautiful game.
You fall back in love with what is the beautiful game.
And we'll move on to this. I will just say now, but when you watch England, there is the antithesis of that. You watch it and you go, I am fucking bored of this game.
Well, I think it was very kind of publicised and spoken about, the fact that everyone was just generally disappointed in how, even the fact that we got to the final, we were level with them up until late in the game. I don't think anyone came away from that tournament with a good feeling, because like the last minute goals, granted, like some of them I watched in these pubs in London, and the place would go absolute, like the Bellingham bicycle kick, the entire place where I was.
I couldn't even imagine.
Tables were flipped over. People were fucking covered. Everyone lost their mind.
Yeah.
One of the most enjoyable experiences I've ever had in terms of like celebrating an England goal.
Yeah, definitely.
But just being a fan in general and assessing our whole tournament, you look back and you think, why did it take a 93rd minute bicycle kick from Bellingham
for us to believe?
For us to go to extra time with Slovenia. Like, granted...
Once you say who were against... Slovenia. Let's not discount any team we could play against. Every tournament game is difficult.
Good team, had good players. You're always going to struggle against a lot of these teams that know how to play. Like, they know how to sit back, defend well, hit you on the break. But with the quality of player that we have... For it to take a 90th minute bicycle kick
to equalise
from a long throw that was then headed on, scramble in the box, bicycle kick, to take it to extra time, it's like
it is ridiculous how we even got through, and then Bellingham got in trouble for his celebration.
For his grabbing his nuts.
I thought it was funny him saying who else.
Yeah.
That to me is hilarious.
Yeah.
I think if you're that good, which he is, because he is, you can't make that argument. Yeah. He is so good. He is probably one of the best in the world.
Potentially Ballon d'Or winner at the end of this year.
Him saying who else is hilarious, considering it was against Slovenia.
Yeah.
If it was against France and you win a 93rd minute bicycle kick against one of the best teams in the world, saying who else kind of tells everyone, I am one of the best in the world. Saying it against Slovenia, again, not to discredit Slovenia, it's tournament football. They were also deserving of being in that place.
Yeah, of course.
However, Bellingham, who is a potential Ballon d'Or winning player, to say who else is kind of all right.
Yeah.
Chill out, dude. But then he did the whole grabbing his nuts thing, which I think is funny and then he got fined.
Yeah.
But then there was the Turkish player that did the far right, wolf symbol or some shit, and he got banned for a game, I think. But then they didn't even go through. So.
Well, I don't know. I think the thing was with England was that I think. Look, every England fan has a certain level of what's the word I'm looking for? We have a bit of entitlement as English fans. It is true. We do have a bit of entitlement.
It's kind of like what we were saying earlier about we put loads of pressure on our team. Yeah. So they have to deal with all this pressure. But equally,
look,
we put on the pressure we do.
But at the same time, we have Kane, who's potentially one of the best strikers in the world. Foden, who was one of the players who had one of the best seasons in the
Premier League Player of the Year.
Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, Jude Bellingham, John Stones, Cole Palmer didn't get in the starting 11 and he was second in the Premier League Golden Boot.
Good.
We have such a high level of player in our team that
of course we'd feel entitled
to watch them go out and play potentially what is the most boring football of all time and the most safe football of all time.
And I've been a Southgate supporter for years.
Yeah.
But this tournament honestly kind of broke me.
It sucks the life out of you. It really does.
I always used to text my brother and my dad. I always used to say, there are not many English managers who have taken us to the semi-final.
Which is
let
true.
alone
Which is
the
true.
final.
Yeah.
Let alone in the Euros 22 against Italy. Arguably, we deserve to win in the 90 minutes, but the whole Chiellini thing, no one could predict if that was going to be a goal.
Yeah.
However, Saka definitely had Chiellini beat, so you can never really know. But the fact that we were there, 1-0 up within 2 minutes, I don't put that down to luck.
No.
I put that down to the level of player that we had.
Yeah.
The manager had built up this confidence in the team, in themselves, in like the fans. Like, yes, we're entitled, and we put a load of pressure, and the media are twats as they are in every country.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's not just us.
No, the media are bad across all football countries.
But watching that and going, sack Southgate. I always used to think that's a little harsh. But then you watch the 2024 Euros and you kind of go, okay, hey Southgate, I love you and I love that what you brought the team together and you've got us to semis and finals and you actually have confidence in, like, English fans believe we can win, but not from like everyone can probably say like, yes, it is annoying when we say it's coming home. Yeah. But when we sing it recently in the last 5 years, it actually feels like it could. Yeah. It's not like a taking the piss. It feels like hey, we could reach the final. And I mean, it's shown by this year the fact that I thought we were going to go out in the quarters. I thought we got to the final.
I thought we were going to go out in the first knockout game.
So I did before the penalty started against Switzerland. I thought we would lose. I thought Switzerland were like they would brute force and they'd win. But we got through and we made it to the final. Yeah. So I'm thinking everyone was so harsh on Southgate, but equally the type of football you're playing has kind of destroyed
enthusiasm
and what English fans want from the team, considering the players that we have. Yeah. Because we've got one of the best attacking players in the world.
I think it would be hard to argue we're not in the conversation for, in terms of player for player, the best attacking team in the world. Harry Kane, Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden, Bukayo Saka, and then you've got Cole Palmer, Ivan Toney, Ollie Watkins.
I was going to say Watkins deserves
these people behind them as well. In terms of talent, we have so much.
Well, isn't it crazy, right? So you can look at that team and go, yeah, we're so attacking, we're so good attacking. Defensively, I don't think it's like we need to play the way Southgate wants to play. Obviously, I'm not a fucking manager. No. I don't know Football Manager. But looking at that team, I don't think our defence needs backup. I don't think our defence needs everyone to be watching out and being careful. I think we could have Kane sitting. Okay, he loves to play deep. He could play at the edge of the fucking D. Yeah. Of the semicircle in the middle. Yeah. And that would still be far enough for him to be useful. Yeah. Sorry, but we love to just everyone come back behind the line, which that really that hurt me.
I think this tournament was just probably the biggest display of I got to the end of it, and I think Southgate probably does get too much hate considering he's probably, despite not winning something,
one of the best England managers.
He's probably, in terms of finishes, tournament finishes, etc., you can't deny he's probably one of the most successful English managers.
Without a doubt.
In recent history.
I don't even think we need to fact check that. I think
you don't. He is. And people have always hated on him. And I think, look, some of the criticism is warranted. I think some of it isn't. But you got to the end of this tournament and you went, it's his time to go now.
When was the last time we even reached a semi-final? Was it when we lost in '96? Lost? Didn't we? Was that a semi or was that a quarter? Dude, when Southgate missed that penalty, when it was Beckham, Southgate, and someone else.
Was that... What part was that? Because, look, like, I remember all throughout my early childhood being an England fan, and it would be... like quarter-finals felt like the absolute latest.
Yeah, it felt like we were right there if we were in the quarters.
96, you're talking about that famous national anthem as well, aren't you? That was not Euro 96.
Was that?
Well,
have
you seen that?
I don't know if I have. Well, I probably have.
The clip where we come out in, I think it might have been the semis because we were against Germany, who were the eventual winners, and it was.
We hosted it.
Yeah, it was in England, and we came out, and the person who was like obviously hired to sing the national anthem started singing it, but then after like one line just stopped because the whole stadium was belting it out. So it's genuinely one of those like chills moments when you watch it.
I actually didn't know that.
Because it was so loud.
Why am I unable? I just want to see the results. Is that like so hard?
I think it might have been semis, and then we lost to Germany in the semis.
Who played and who scored? Yeah.
Yeah, because that was like Gaza and stuff as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, but that was the thing. Like,
Gascoigne.
We definitely should have won whatever game it was that we ended up losing. Jamie,
pull that
6-5, was that it?
That's the game with the national anthem.
Was I thinking something else?
Well, look, either way, most successful English manager of like recent history.
Yeah.
But you got to the end of the tournament, and I think everyone, whether or not you were a fan of him or not, you knew this was kind of his time.
Yeah,
done.
Definitely. It was like we were saying in the car, like win or lose, this would have been his last.
It had to be his last. And look, the next person who comes in, I'm not saying that they will necessarily do better. It would be very difficult for them to do better because they'd have to kind of win something.
Definitely.
But I think as a fan, with all of this attacking talent, you just want to see something a little bit more like...
A little bit more positive.
Yeah,
like the way Spain played.
I mean, Spain played an amazing tournament. Spain played a great tournament.
Here we go. Here's the order of managers because we were trying to figure it out earlier.
Yeah.
So 90. We'll go from 90. We'll go from 94 just because Venables deserves a mention. 94 to 96. Terry Venables makes sense. 96, 99. Glenn Hoddle. Beckham was always ignored because of Hoddle. I remember this. I say I remember. I was born in 99, but there you go. Who the fuck is Howard Wilkinson? Don't remember, don't recall, don't care. Kevin Keegan. 99 to 2000, 18 games, won 7, drew 7, lost 4.
That's not a great record.
Just about okay. Peter Taylor, don't recall. Honestly, have no memory.
Did he manage one game? I think it says.
He managed one game. He was probably an interim kind of manager. Sven Goran. Sven Goran, 2001-06. 67 games, won 40, drew 17, lost 10.
So that was the golden generation under Sven, really.
Yeah, 06, that makes complete sense.
You're thinking, well, was 06 World Cup when it was Rooney's breakthrough?
That's when Rooney...
Or am I thinking too early then?
No, that's when Rooney stamped on Ronaldo, wasn't it?
Was it?
Or was that
06?
Was that...
That feels like too late.
That may have been 08, to be fair. May have been 08. But 08 would have been under Capello, which it very well could have been, actually. Anyway, so it went Steve McLaren as a little interim, which is great. We love Steve McLaren.
McLaren's an interesting character.
Capello. His record isn't even bad, man. His record's actually quite good.
Capello's record wasn't bad. The problem with Capello was the media and the dressing room. The dressing room hated Capello.
Yeah.
They despised Capello. I've seen so many interviews with players talking about Capello as a manager and the fact that he just lost the dressing room so quickly.
Dude, yeah. Looking at these stats, we'll just quickly pierce through. Stuart Pearce, 2012, 1 game, 1 loss. Good for him. Roy Hodgson, 56 games, 33 draws, 15 losses. Oh wait, hang on.
33 wins.
33 wins, 15 draws, 8 losses. There we go.
Yeah.
Sam Allardyce, 1 game, 1 win. See you later.
Has Allardyce with the best win percentage of any English manager.
Good for him. Gareth Southgate.
Yeah.
Has the most amount of... Okay. It says here International Select Committee, so I imagine that means no manager between 1888 and 1939.
Yeah, okay.
Which is pretty astonishing considering that from 102 games, he won 61, drew 24 and lost 17. His goal difference is 141.
Yeah.
Which is actually pretty fucking good.
Yeah, that's very
Bearing in
good.
mind, sure enough, we do play San Marino and teams like that when we're qualifying. And
that doesn't necessarily include that does include like your friendly games, your Nations League, your qualifying, where you are going to be playing those kind of weaker opponents.
But his win-loss, I don't know what that is 44, which is pretty impeccable.
I think
percentage win.
Is that 44 games for every 1 loss, basically?
Yeah, I think so. Which is pretty incredible.
No, that's the thing. You can't
I
really.
mean, he is the second longest reigning English manager before Alf Ramsey, who was 1963 to 74.
So that was our World Cup win then.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes complete sense why he stuck around.
Yeah, yeah.
And he does have a better percentage, but.
Yeah, but
he did have the World Cup winning team.
Bobby Moore, George Best.
You would look at Gareth Southgate's record and go, okay, yeah, he finished second in the Euros twice, came in the semi, so like 4th or 3rd.
World Cup semi-finals. In the last World Cup, I think we played France off the park in that game that we lost.
Is that the one where Harry Kane missed the penalty?
Where Harry Kane skied the pen, yeah, his second pen. I remember watching that game and thinking, we've played this lot off the park. We deserve to win this game, which was very rare for us to play a big team and play them off the park. But I think at the end of the day, everyone kind of got to the end of this and was like, it's his time to go. It might not get better immediately, but it's just the right thing for everyone.
We've got such a young team at the moment.
Yeah.
Who are we going to lose? Kyle Walker.
Kyle Walker and Kane are both getting on in their years.
Kyle Walker, I think, has realised that he's not quite the can play 90 minutes kind of guy anymore.
Well, he's also just off shagging that bloke. Do you know the insane story behind Kyle Walker's shagging antics?
Oh, Kyle Walker. I thought you were going to say Kane.
No, Kyle Walker.
Yeah, right, yes.
You do know...
I know, yeah, that's why I was confused.
Right, okay, yeah.
Because I was thinking you said Kyle Walker, Kane, and I was like, what's Kane been doing?
No, Kane, I don't even think Kane's...
He's been living happy in Germany with his
Kane's
wife.
got a face like he's never had sex in his life. Kyle Walker is a prolific shagger, that bloke.
Good for him. He's the fastest man on the block.
He is. But we're going to lose a couple of these players, but also we've got these...
How old's John Stones now? Like, not even 30 yet.
He's not... John Stones is not 30 yet. I mean, Foden, Saka, Bellingham are all super young, despite the fact Foden has like 8 kids. Palmer... Gay's young, and he was one of the best players this tournament, I think.
How old's Watkins? 25?
No,
27?
Watkins is older than you think. Watkins is like 28, 29.
Oh, poor Watkins. I'm glad he's had a good season then.
Tony's younger than him. Tony's, I think, like...
Tony's younger than him?
Yeah, Tony's younger than him.
But Tony's been playing since, like, non-league.
I know. I'm pretty sure Tony's still younger than him, though.
Oh, shit. Let's bring back
They're
Vardy,
close,
I say.
Vardy, yeah.
God, how old
vibes. Vardy fucking Red Bull and a pint before the game, and he'd go out and batter you for no reason.
How the fuck did Vardy do it? I don't know, but good for him.
I don't think that you'd be hard pressed to find someone though that doesn't respect Vardy.
No,
I feel like everyone's just like...
My favourite part is when they were relegated and he stayed with them. That's how you know he's like, he knows who he is.
Yeah.
He's like, hey,
His wife's getting into fucking legal disputes with Rooney's wife. It's just vibes.
My wife's having a go at fucking whatever Wayne Rooney's wife is called.
Colleen.
My wife's having a go at Colleen. I won the league with fucking Leicester under Ranieri. Let's go. I'm in the England team for... Is that the year that they lost to Iceland in the quarters?
Oh, could have been. Could have been,
That was 2016. And they won in 2015. Could totally imagine that being that. Without fact-checking, I bet that's the case.
Yeah, that feels right.
Played with England, gets relegated with Leicester, and stays with them. And bearing in mind, he's stayed with them since 2015.
Yeah.
So he won the league, played Champions League football, fell down the table with whoever the concurrent managers were.
And he's coming back up.
Relegated, and then is probably among the top scorers, don't know if he is, of the Championship to get Leicester back in.
I don't think he actually played that much.
No, I don't think he did. He's like 30 odd.
But he's still around the squad, which I think he's going to retire at the end of the season.
And there is no doubt that he is bringing that experience.
We're going to see him score a shithouse goal against a team that he hates for no reason this season.
He's going to score the winner against City in the fucking 10th minute, he's going to take his shirt off.
He's going to celebrate and pull down his shorts.
He's going to fucking wank off to Khalid.
And then he's just going to ride off into the sunset.
Oh, God.
He's a hero.
He is a hero. Good for Vardy, man. He is our hero.
I love Vardy.
What are we on topics?
What have we still got on topics?
Trump.
I feel like Trump is the big one.
Is it? Well, I feel like you honestly got to be a little careful with what you say. I mean, like, we're English, so... As if we give a shit.
I feel like because we're English, we can speak from a point of
slightly
ignorance.
More freely.
Yeah.
Slightly more freely.
Yeah, I think it's a lot easier for us to speak on this. So obviously, the coldest picture of all time was taken, a week ago or some days ago or whatever.
I don't know if I have seen this.
You must. The picture of him where his ears bleed and he puts his hand up throughout. Yeah. Look, like as much as your political opinions on Trump, everyone's may differ. Picture was fucking cold.
Yeah, you can all agree that
the picture was.
Picture
sick.
Goes hard.
The picture goes dummy hard.
Picture could be an album for literally any rap artist for the next 100 years, and it would be like number one.
I would not be surprised if that picture's used for the cover of some kind of
cover
album.
Of Time magazine.
Yeah.
Trump. Person of the year.
But idea behind this entire assassination attempt is hilarious to me because it did not take hours for Twitter and American media to start to go to polar opposite ends of the spectrum where people are either like, this is fake and this has been made to like increase support for him, conspiracy theory, inside job, etc., to the FBI tried to kill him and they were behind it, to also like just like people on every which side have just gone, they've just all walked in opposite directions and gone as far away from each other as possible.
What is crazy though is like think about if it was successful, I feel like the country would go into meltdown, like, and not in like a, oh no, it's positive, because a lot of people would look at it and go, oh, wish it happened, but I think the country would have literally gone to absolute shit.
I think support for him at the moment is potentially at an all-time high in terms of what. Yeah. Granted, you're in echo chambers on social media. It's hard to gauge.
But then, thinking about his opponent, I think, like, don't get me wrong. Do I want Trump to win? No. Do I want Biden to win? I don't know if Biden's the guy. You know.
I'm surprised that COVID didn't kill Biden off, to be honest.
How the fuck is he not already dead?
How was Biden not dead?
Trump could say something like so abhorrent, like in a presidential debate, he could say, "You shower with your daughter."
Yeah.
And Biden's response would be, "I love my family." Like, that's the level that we're dealing with in America.
I think I would say early onset dementia, but I think he's so old it's not even early onset. I think Biden is just so old that he's probably not in the position that he should be.
But isn't that scary that they've had 4 years to come up with a new candidate?
Well, I mean,
they haven't.
The problem is with American politics that I find is that, I mean, everything's right-leaning anyway. Like, no left really exists in America. They don't really have socialism in any way.
No.
Bernie was the closest they ever got, and he didn't stand a chance.
No. How old was Bernie when he ran?
Bernie was pretty old as well.
He was old.
They're all old in America.
All old. How does that happen? We need another Barack. We need another JFK.
Yeah, but they look. But the thing is, people in America don't think back fondly on Barack's reign either.
Sure, Barack had some issues. Don't get me wrong. No political leader has ever been completely clean.
But there's a lot of them that really weren't a fan of his reign. I'm not saying for right or wrong. At the end, I studied American politics, but it was
actually.
Yeah, but it was old American politics. So I know a lot about JFK, Roosevelt, Reagan, all of that kind of stuff. And I know kind of general populist opinion on them, but Barack and more recent ones I'm not super familiar with. But I know from pop culture that people just don't really look back fondly on that. But it seems it just seems like Trump has captured that certain type of American and whether or not this was planned or not, the only thing it's done is fueled the rage of these American people that want these things a certain way and agree with what he said. I've kind of got serious here, but the fucking meme as a result of it, that it's people doing these voices on TikTok where it's you can't kill me, the bullet can't kill, he feeds off that energy that people don't want him to win, and then everyone is he's an underdog kind of thing, and they get behind that.
Oh God, American politics is worrying.
It's crazy.
Because you can look okay. Speaking from a UK perspective, our politics over the last 5-10 years have been mental.
Crazy.
Because we've had this whole problem with Brexit, we've had this whole problem with the Conservatives, regardless of where you lean. I don't know how many of our viewers are from the UK.
But we've just had scandal after scandal in our politics, if you're not familiar.
Prime Minister after Prime Minister, man. We've had about fucking 6 in the last 5 years.
Well, yeah, this is something as well that
I think it's been 5 in about 7.
The American viewers might not understand because they might not be super attuned to our politics, but we should have a general election as standard every 4 years.
Yeah.
We've had so many snap elections and so many people being pushed out of office due to scandal that it feels like our politics has turned over every year.
And what's ridiculous is, right, so Labour won, right? Mm-hmm. Which is who gives a shit? I'm fucking so pleased that somehow that happened. Mm-hmm. I honestly was so frightened that it wouldn't. Because I was doing I was a poll clerk.
Oh, really?
So I was taking people's votes and checking addresses and shit, which was great fun. And in this area, Polly will be home in an hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah. In this area, predominantly Conservative.
Right, okay.
Predominantly.
Makes sense, generally.
Sense, yeah. And every time we had a young person come in, me and this one other woman that we were with, that was another poll clerk, we were saying good for them coming in and giving Labour a vote.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't explain our points of view
to
anyone, because there's that whole thing about
influencing. You're not supposed to influence.
But anyway,
votes.
Labour won, which is insane. Keir Starmer, mental. He's actually I don't even know how to describe it, a normal English person. He didn't grow up in a private school. He didn't grow up in Eton. He didn't grow up with this idea of like, I'm at this level and everyone is here and working their way up. He was in a comprehensive school, grew up, and the people he's put in charge of like junior positions are technically senior positions in order to get the country like on track.
To a certain extent, he's more normal than
any other prime minister.
These Eton ones that we've had in the past.
Any other prime minister, man. It's literally been any other prime minister has been privately educated up until the age of 24.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, sidetrack slightly, I'm still not the biggest fan of Keir Starmer, but I'm not a fan of politicians in general.
No, it's hard to like them.
It's very hard to like them. I've always compared politicians to snakes. I think they're all very like slimy, and
you don't get to that position without being a little slimy.
Exactly. The whole thing kind of breeds a bit of sliminess, and I won't say which way I voted or what I voted. Actually, you know what? Fuck it, I will. I voted and I spoiled my ballot on purpose because out of protest.
That's ridiculous.
No.
Out of protest to fucking who?
To the man.
To the man. The man is the Conservative for the last 14 years.
I agree with that, but I expected Labour to win, and I think it was right that the Conservative Party didn't continue their reign. But I think we have to hold the opposition to a higher standard as well. And the reason the Conservative Party's dominated for so long is because the opposition hasn't been good enough.
Who was before Keir Starmer? Corbyn. He was a shit.
He
wasn't good.
I wasn't a fan of Corbyn. I wasn't a fan of Miliband, who was before Corbyn.
Didn't he have a thing about sandwiches? Wasn't there that?
He ate sandwiches really weirdly.
Yeah, that's all you need to know.
I remember he ate a sandwich like sideways once, and no one ever let him live it down. But he was a slimy bastard and all. But it's one of those things with British politics, and I feel like this is just politics around the world always, in that the everyday person doesn't like politicians, but you're forced into a situation of choosing.
And you need to be in the know. You can't, ignoring politics is probably more stupid than just getting 10 minutes of knowledge about each party and making a decision then. If you don't make a decision, if you think, I'm not going to vote because what does it matter? You are part of the problem, and I hate to say it. You need to vote for someone, but just make a vote. Voting for no one solves literally fuck all in the problems that you will be encountering for the next 5 years.
Well, what my problem was, in the first election that I could vote in, I voted for the Green Party out of protest.
Gang.
Yeah, that was what I did. And I was going to vote for the Green Party out of protest again this time.
What was that, the letterbox? I think it was, yeah. The door hasn't opened, I know. Unless an hour and a half has happened in the last 10 minutes. So. How much Doomie have you finished?
I'm
I think you're slightly ahead of me, maybe.
Right. I voted for the Green Party out of protest, and
my camera wrist straps just arrived.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just got the Amazon notification, no biggie.
I was going to do the same this time, but then I read the entirety of the Greens manifesto, and there were certain things...
That's crazy, I did the same.
Yeah, there were certain things where I was like, I really agree with this, and then there were other things where I was like, you've got this so entirely wrong, in my opinion, that I was like, I feel like even a protest vote towards them would be misrepresentative of what I believe. Sure. And then I kind of strutted around. I was like, maybe I'm gonna protest vote Lib Dems. Maybe I'm gonna like.
Well, that would have been a weird.
Well, yeah, that I then didn't want to do either. I ended up reading so many of these manifestos, and I was like, you know what? Fucking hate the lot of you. Fucking hate all of you. So I went into my polling station. I got my little ballot, and I wrote across the front, "You all belong in jail, not Parliament." And I put that.
Oh God.
I put that in, and I walked out. And for me, it's very important that people are politically like attentive and in tune.
Yeah.
And I think
at least be like somewhat in the know.
I think the vast majority of people should vote for a party and should get behind that. It's just I have very specific views on things, and I knew that voting for any party probably would have been disingenuous to what I actually believe.
I would say, just to make it a little more relevant to us, is the Green Party is one of the only parties in the UK which is talking about drug reform.
Lib Dems is the only other one.
Really?
Lib Dems have a big policy on drug reform, which was why
is it reform?
It's not reform in the same way that the Green Parties want to.
Green Party wants to decriminalise and make it easy and take off resources from the police to be like, you don't need to arrest people for that. Take them to the fucking rehabs and shit.
Lib Dems is a lot less good in. I agree entirely in the Green Party's like drug reform.
It's one of the
policies.
only reasons I used to vote for the Green Party. Bearing in mind I was like 18, 19.
But even outside, like, oh yeah, like we like to smoke, like, oh, legalise it kind of thing. I think if you listen to anyone who's...
And if you read the manifestos,
yeah,
it makes sense. They don't just say drugs are fun, let people be free.
No,
they're not like hippies.
Yeah.
They're saying like, we've got so many resources pulled towards the NHS and the police in every fucking county in England, dedicated to taking down drug dealers, and drug stations, and people that are carrying and what have you. If you just make that okay and say, hey, if you've got a problem, go to like this rehab group and it'll be free of charge, la-di-da, blah. It will take so many resources, away. I mean, it will give them, the police and NHS, so much more room to expand into actually solving health issues.
You listen to anyone who's informed on I mentioned this to you before, that Sean Atwell or whatever?
Yes, the police officer.
Was
undercover and
you listen to people like that. You listen to people that have worked in rehabs and worked in worked alongside drug addicts. All of them say the same thing.
It was like the one clip, I remember, it was the clip I watched when I texted you and I said, Sean Atwell, was it him?
Yeah.
He was in a club with his partner or whoever it was, and they found a bunch of people who were doing MDMA.
Yeah.
And he was trying to figure out like who they were getting it off.
Yeah.
And no one was like able to give an answer because they were there just to have fun.
Yeah.
They were there just to dance. They were there just to party with their friends.
Yeah.
And so he said to his partner, like, there's this person and this person with like this many pills, and they got offered some drugs. Yeah. And he said, what was it? It was something like he paid for them and it was market value. But it was like such a small quantity that he didn't know like if it was even worth it. So he told his partner, he was like, I've got this amount of pills, Yeah. And she went, well, what are they like? Are they a big player in the game?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, no, I think they were just selling pills to have fun, really. Yeah. It wasn't like anything more. And so the partner was like, well, let's do them and just like have the night to ourselves, because there's no point in going after these fucking like dudes who are just selling pills, like 10 pills a night at a club, because it's not going to solve anything. No. Arresting him is not going to lead you to like a multi-million-dollar arrest.
Well, the thing is as soon as you, it's funny as well, through politics we've got onto drug reform so quickly, but as soon as you legalise all of it, and like look, even some of these like hardcore drugs that granted you don't want people to be decriminalise, but
versus legal.
Well, the thing I don't know. I'm for full legalisation because of multiple things. One, like, look, it shouldn't be easy for anyone to get their hands on heroin. It shouldn't be. But
you're right.
If someone is a drug addict, they're going to get their hands on heroin anyway.
They'll find a way.
Do you want that money going to gangs where they're going to buy weapons with it? They're going to
protect their turf.
They're going to protect their turf. They're going to be beefing with other gangs for turf. There's going to be murders. There's going to be shootings in public. Like, London, like, granted
with the knife crime.
The knife crime in that over what is essentially all drug money that comes through that. It's all gang and drug money. If they don't have drug money to fund all of this, these like criminal organisations, they no longer have the money power to do what they're doing.
Dude, you are so right though. With like, if they decriminalise, legalise it, if everything went through the government, they could probably keep it at cost.
Yeah.
Like, if you're happy paying... Because we were saying once, like, if I could pop down to the shop... and buy a gram of weed for 20 quid, which is double current market value, or value where I am.
Well, it's value pretty much
everywhere. Roughly everywhere, yeah. If that was going to the government, oh my god, they could take 50%.
Yeah.
And it would be as if they were getting market value for all these illegal drugs.
Yeah. That goes like, I think weed is obviously the easiest one because
it's too easy considering Germany, considering Amsterdam, Netherlands.
It would put no strain on the NHS because there's such few actual like medical like psychosis is a very rare thing that happens. The amount of tax money you'd make from legalizing it would like 1,000x the amount of like potentially even more, like tens of thousands x the amount of outgoings that would go on weed psychosis treatment in the NHS. Like that would probably stay. That I don't think that would increase from legalization. So the amount of money you're spending on that in the NHS would probably be the same anyway. You're making a ridiculous amount of money on tax from it, and the amount of good you could do with that for education, for the NHS, for just general like living in the UK.
Yeah, I was gonna say, getting weed in the UK legally, you have like there's like 2 companies. Which are like.
I'm vaguely aware of
top bins for like medical versions.
Medical grade marijuana. Yeah.
And it's like you need to prove that you have a chronic issue or an issue which could already be solved with the use of marijuana. Or solved.
Epilepsy, I know, is one of the bigger ones.
Epilepsy and chronic pain and like joints or whatever.
Yeah.
It can really help.
Yeah.
But if you say I went onto one of these websites and I went, hey, I wanna fucking use weed for medical reasons.
Yeah.
They want you to provide NHS reports of you bringing these issues up.
Yeah.
So let's say I had a back issue, and I brought it up to my local GP. I do
have a back issue.
Dude, I swear to God, I've had a knee issue for about 5 years, and this is real.
Yeah, this is real.
Tangentially, I don't know if that's a word.
Yeah.
I have had a knee issue since before uni, which we discovered I graduated from 2 years ago. That's 5 years.
I've had a back issue since I was probably about 12, 14.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I have back issues purely because I sit at my fucking desk, which is why it's currently in a standing position, so I get at least a little bit more of my time being upright.
You've probably seen how much I move around in my chair from the. I don't know if you've like paid attention to it or noticed it.
Hearing it squeak around.
But I like the amount that I will like slouch, move around, sit up, sit down, just because it's so like I'm a long person.
You're a long person.
I'm a long person, and
how tall are you officially at right now?
6'4" is how tall I am.
Jesus Christ. Actually, wait, can we stand
I have really bad posture, so I never stand
You're
up straight.
6'4", holy shit, maybe you are.
But I stand like this a lot of the time.
I always used to... our friend Barney is like 6'2",
yeah.
and I always used to put him at like the pinnacle. I just don't stand up straight. Oh my god. Where am I to you? What do I look like?
You're definitely 6 foot, no?
I'm definitely 6 foot.
You're definitely 6
I've
foot.
always put myself at 6 foot because the doctors, they said to me, hey, you are just 6 foot.
So you're 6 foot.
You are 6.00 like 5 right now.
I think I'm like 6'4.0. Like I'm
something.
I'm just like, around 6'4".
You literally breached the 6'4" mark. That's how I feel when I'm 6 foot. So I tell people I'm 6, and I'm pretty confident about it.
But yeah, so thus sitting down in a lot of places, like chairs aren't built for people that are tall most of the time.
Do you know what this is related? Ryanair flights. I understand Ryanair and their perspective on like getting as many people on planes and earning as much money as they can with cabin bags and what have you. I am a pretty comfortable sleeper.
Okay.
I can sleep on trains, buses, cars, planes.
Right, okay.
I am like pretty chill.
You can knock out pretty much anywhere.
Ryanair planes, fuck that, dude. There's something about them where I am just like, okay, imagine you're sat upright and your head, you're starting to nod off and your head goes down, but you wake up because your head has like hit the gravity.
Yeah.
And so you wake up and you're like, fuck, dude, I wish I was asleep. So you shift forward a tiny bit, but your neck is now like at a weird angle because you're trying to lie backwards. Can't happen on a Ryanair flight because of the leg room that they give. I am literally like, I'm not even shitting you. I mean, you probably definitely have it worse. You're 6'4", fucking out 4 inches more than me. My knees are probably like no more than like, I don't know how much that is. Less than an inch, maybe an inch and a half at most.
So something that I have to do a lot on trains, planes. I can't sit in a chair upright on trains and planes.
Right, you have to...
So trains, my knees will knock into the person opposite or will hit, like, especially if there's stuff...
That's horrible!
If there's stuff underneath the table, like obviously like some kind of pillar, table leg, like holding it will knock into that all the time.
That's horrible.
So the way I have to sit on... I have to be in an aisle seat.
Yes.
And I have to basically put my legs into the aisle and just move them in when people go past.
Oh, dude, I'm so glad you said that because I love an aisle seat on a plane.
Oh, I have to. It's emergency exit or aisle. Otherwise, I'm literally miserable.
I'm miserable. Oh, dude, the fact that I'm 4 inches shorter than you and I am literally like emergency aisle exit.
Yeah.
If I'm on the aisle, I can have at least one leg comfortable. And one leg can suffer, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's 50% of my legs.
Yeah.
That's an alright ratio. Sitting in the middle seat on a fucking 2.5 hour flight. No. Dude, I'm literally not tripping out. And not in like a fun way, in like my brain is like awake but asleep. And I look at the time and I go, whoa, it's been like half an hour. And then I like do that and I'm like, whoa, it's been 25 minutes. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense. Like I freak out minorly in my head based on the fact that I can't get to sleep.
No.
But the guy next to me, fucking love that guy, 5'8", good for you, mate.
Oh, mate,
he can sleep soundly for 2.5 hours.
One of my best mates, 5'8", the bloke can literally sit anywhere.
I'm pissed at that.
Yeah.
How's your Doomie doing?
The Doomie's pretty much gone.
Yeah.
What are we knocking on to next?
I think the Pale Ale or half the cider.
When's the
wheat beer?
When's the Vice beer?
The Vice beer probably has to be next.
Do you think?
Because think about it. Polly's going to be home in about 55 minutes.
Right. So we probably want to wrap this up.
We're going to go out to drink. Yeah. So we probably need to wrap up, start cooking, have dal. We'll be okay. We probably need to wrap this up.
We probably need...
We'll finish the Doomie, and there isn't another topic on the list.
Is there not?
There is not, sir.
This could be a good time to finish the Doomie, start our next beer, wrap up while we're drinking our next beer, and then get on to some cooking.
Once we get to the 3-hour mark of the recording, that is the cutoff. That is.
Okay. Well, yeah.
That is the final. That is give your final messages. I'm ending it. Goodbye.
I like the way that also we got all of these
We've got more to come back to.
beers.
Hey, we got nowhere to be tomorrow. I've got football at 6 p.m. tomorrow, but
I have nothing going on at all.
Bearing in mind, do you know what? This is so unrelated, but I'm gonna tell you because it's may as well. We're finishing up. So football.
Go on. So there we go. There's the Doom bar down. Let's do a quick rating for the Doomies.
How do you feel about it?
For me, it has to probably be the bottom of any of them we've had.
What did you give them? Let's go over all of them. Guinness, what did you give it?
Let's go from start to finish.
Yeah.
For me, Guinness
7.3.
No.
2.5, wasn't it?
I gave a 7.25 to the one we had after the Guinness.
No
that was
way.
A cider.
No way.
I didn't give it a rating for the Guinness.
Well, give a rating to the Guinness.
Guinness would be a 9.5 for me.
Shitting hell, dude.
I mean, it's from a can. It's from a can, so we'll go lower because it's not a properly poured Guinness.
We'll give it an
8.7. 8.7. What for you? From you?
No.
For me.
For me, it's gonna be a 7.5.
Oh, I love Guinness, man.
I don't dislike Guinness. That's the thing. That's why I'll give it a 7.8. How about the opposite? Reverse numbers.
We'll have the opposites.
7.8 Finn. Right. Then we went on to the
cider. That was second.
Cider. What did you give it? You gave
7.25.
Yeah, 7.25 out of 10.
I was a fan of the cider. I feel like cider for me is just a very niche.
I gave it a 7.3.
A niche thing for me.
Finn. Leffe was next.
9.5.
9.5.
You cannot beat the Leffe. Out of the proper bottle as well.
Oh, dude,
this is
so
just
right. You're so
God's nectar right here.
Did I give it a 9?
I think you gave it a 9.
I think I gave it a 9 as well. 9 out of 10, Finn. Then we got the Doomie.
See, the Doomie gives me... I reminisce while I'm drinking a Doomie. I feel like...
I have a strong image of a Swedish man in my head.
Yeah, a bearded Swedish man.
A ginger-bearded Swedish man.
Making a game. And I respect it for that. But, look, you take me to any pub and I see Doom Bar on tap, I'm probably going to a different
I wouldn't
tap.
even give it a second thought.
Not really.
I would immediately move on.
So I think for that, reminiscing, I think I'm just going to have to give it middle of the road. I think I'm going to have to go 5 out of 10.
No way, dude. 5 out of 10.
Let me give it a 6. I'll give it a 6.
A 6, oh, okay. There's no arguments there.
I feel like a 5 should be middle of the road, but realistically a 6 feels more like middle of the road.
I'm going to give it 6.1 just because I feel bad.
Okay.
6.1 out of 10.
So we probably won't end up rating this, but are we doing... So we have the ones that we haven't done yet. We have the Inches, the...
Big Wave Golden Ale,
and...
Erdinger Weissbier.
Die Deutsche Weissbier.
I think just to honour your time in Munich, we should probably do the wheat beer now.
I think the Weissbier.
Yeah. Crack it open, my dude. Crack it open. And we'll slowly close this out.
Make our way through
because we need to start the dial. Because Polly can arrive when we're cooking, but then we're immediately going to go out because it's a Saturday as well. Thank God.
If Polly arrives and we haven't even started cooking yet,
that would be a problem.
I feel like that's an issue.
She would definitely voice an issue with me later on that evening.
I take it we're putting these in the glasses, or are you going bottle?
What do you want?
We can just go out the bottle. I'm used to drinking out the bottle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we can.
Yeah, let's go out the bottle. Let's just give it a little tap.
Erdinger. German people laugh at the fact that Erdinger is considered a German beer.
Is it not? Is it not from? But it is from Bayern. No, is it not from Munich? Is it not from around that area?
It is a German beer. It's a Weissbier. However, from my time in Munich, before I went to Munich, and look, Munich is a cheers by the way, Prost. I'm not sure how much I've covered this actually on this channel, but I spent a year living in Germany.
It's been mentioned.
I think it's been mentioned. I don't like to mention it very often. And the place for beer, like if you're from America, if you're from the UK and you haven't been to Germany and you have, or a Germanic country and tried the beers they have, you have just not experienced beer at what is the elite level.
I would love to go to Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest. So funnily enough, I lived in Munich for a year.
You weren't able to go, but you were there during.
As a result of COVID, it was cancelled, and I've never been to Oktoberfest. But
maybe that could be another episode 2.
Episode 2 is in October.
In October.
Crazy.
Considering that will be before GTA 6.
It will be.
Considering that would be what, like 2 months, 3. What month?
October.
July, August, September.
It's not that far away.
So it'll be about 3 months.
Wow.
Jeez. It'll be less because it's like mid-October, isn't it?
I would be so down.
Honestly, look, I have enough in savings to where I could get a ticket now.
The city's just amazing. But look, so I spent a year over there in Munich, and the beer that you just pick up in the supermarkets, not even when you go to these pubs that like have this stuff specialized what you pick up in supermarkets, like I remember when we were playing Stardew and we had that drinking one, and I went to the supermarket and I picked up what were they? You can get them in really specific places in the UK.
Yeah.
I can't remember what they're called.
It was dude, the thing is, like, in Austria, Otterkringer, something like that. Something with O. Kringer. I feel like it's part of it.
When you say that, I just think of Dr. Oetker for some reason.
Really?
I don't know why.
That's crazy.
It said Otto, and that just makes me think Oetker.
Otterkringer or something like that. And they're like Austrian, like you could pick it up in a corner shop, you could pick it up in a Spar, you could pick it up in a Della. It's there.
Yeah.
And that is like, for me, it's crazy because that for me is, I say the same as going to a Tesco and picking up.
It's the light.
Picking up a fucking Budweiser, picking up a Copperberg.
But the levels.
But it's so much higher. It's like hard to quantify the difference.
The thing is about the way they do it in Germany and Germanic countries is like they have these. It's predominantly in Bavaria. It's predominantly around the lakes, and they have some of the most beautiful lakes in like mainland Europe, barring like Italy, and they're like.
Go to one of these countries with you.
Oh,
you with your knowledge and your language, and me with learning. I think would be one of the most phenomenal things that this channel has ever seen.
They are honestly incredible, and I feel like a trip to Munich for the two of us. I think you would love.
I would happily do that. A long weekend.
You would love it as well.
I could do a long weekend booking 1 day of holiday.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Could definitely be.
So if you can book holidays.
I've got lots of holiday left for the end of the year. I've already carried over stuff from last year that I still haven't used.
Remaining until Feb. This is real. I have about 8 days holiday remaining.
Until December, I have 10.5 days holiday.
No way.
That I don't know how to use.
Minus like 2.5 of those. Because I will be going to Spain.
I have nothing.
Therefore, we have about 6 days, or thereabouts.
Yeah.
Actually, let's think about it. Like, genuinely, I would love to do that.
I would. 100%.
Like, on a level, I've never been to Germany, full stop.
Yeah.
But I know some German.
Yeah.
They would probably look at me and go, "You're speaking quite Austrian. You actually are really shit at speaking German." And I'd go, "I know. Please don't laugh at me. I'm really trying."
Oh look, I studied the language for a long time, and my friends in Munich still take the piss out of me for my German accent.
No, but what's crazy? This is it's funny because it's related, but so unrelated. It's like when my girlfriend and I would go out to a place in Vienna, and she, being from there, is able to communicate in German pretty. Well, I say fluently. Freaking mother tongue,
Yeah.
And then there's me going, bitteschön, dankeschön, you know. Have you ever had a semmel?
Yes.
Yes. Oh my god, dude. There is nothing I fucking love more. Eine Zemmel mit Käse und Braunschinken und Essigurken. Bitteschön.
Well,
they loved me.
The thing with me is that I had the luxury of being able to go live in Vienna for a summer, and then also live in Munich. So I got the Germanic side of it. I lived in Austria for a summer.
That's actually ridiculous.
Oh look, I'm so lucky,
dude,
in what
I'm
I've
actually
been able to experience.
I think we need to go to Munich. We need to go to Vienna. Honestly, Polly would. Honestly, I'd love to piss her off. Actually, I'm like, hey, me and Luke are going to Vienna. Wouldn't you love to be there?
Oh, Vienna still to this day is my favourite city.
It's literally like, if I'm not there in 5 years, I'm gonna be upset.
When I lived there for that summer, I just thought, this is like the people, the culture, even the weather, like the fact that you get the really hot summers but also the really cold winters.
You get snow at Christmas, you get blistering sun in summer, flowers bloom in spring, you get the leaves going orange in fall, in autumn. I went really American there. Really.
Fall. To this day, the oh god, what's it called? The palace, Schönbrunn Palace. I presume you went to Schönbrunn Palace?
I probably did. I can't.
Big palace in Vienna, and at the top of the hill, it's got a hill in its garden that you go out the back of, and it has like a big building where you can drink and eat. It's expensive. It's a bit of a tourist trap, but
maybe that's why I don't know.
But the palace gardens are fucking beautiful. I went there, was 30-degree heat, was a horrible walk up this hill to go to, but you got to the top of this hill, Schönbrunn Palace, and Jesus Christ, the fucking view across the palace you'd have while you were having a beer that you would only dream of in England. I was just like, I know I'll end up here at some point again in my life.
Oh god, it's so fucked up. I know we're 4 beers in. There is no doubt in my mind that we can definitely accomplish a trip to Munich or 100%. Vienna or one of these countries where you can speak. Yeah. And I'm learning that language. Yeah. That is just it's too good to pass up.
I'd have to have some more practice again because I haven't actually spoke German properly for the last 2 years.
Dude, well when you fucking meet my girlfriend,
when Polly comes back and we'll start talking about you.
Yeah, honestly, as long as you say the word Finn and I'm like, oh, you're talking about me. That's all I need. You could be shit-mouthing me, but as long as you say Finn, I'm like, me, yeah, hello. Hello! Dude, I'm trying to remember this. Oh, I'm thinking of Belvedere.
Right,
that's the place that's round the corner.
No, so we're not talking about the main city. You have to go further out. Here, Schloss Schönbrunn.
Schönbrunn.
And you walk through the back of these gardens and you go up to the top of this here it is, this castle
there's some thing. Places that my girlfriend hasn't even taken me.
Well, it's a very touristy place, but you've got a lake across the back here, and then you look at the palace and the palace gardens this way. And you sit up there with an ice cold beer.
Did you ever go, in the city? How in the city did you go?
I lived there for a summer.
What about the second district? Are you
I know that city genuinely the back of my hand.
Oh my god. Dude. It's just funny because Polly lives so in a city. She lives in the second district.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, she's we walk out the door, we go down one street and you're okay, this is a city.
Yeah.
You don't go I've got a little bit of a walk.
Well, because I lived slightly further out. We're over the top of your map right now, showing where we were.
Well, the heart is Polly's address, so you can use that as a reference of where you may know.
The heart is there.
That is where she lives. And
so
lived for the last
To be fair, I wasn't that much further out than that.
The districts are weird though.
The districts are very
you can
like
say you're
weird.
District 4, but actually be fucking miles away from town.
Yeah.
Is that like England? Like saying, I live in zone fucking 3. But actually, you're like 40 minutes away from the centre of town.
You could be in zone 3 and be closer to central London than someone in zone 2, technically.
Because I lived in zone 9, but I was a 40-minute train away from King's Cross.
This map is so hard for me to read because I can't see where the river is.
Are you taking? Well, it's to the right. It's to the right. There it is.
That's the main river.
Yeah, the river is west. What's it called?
Oh,
I've literally immediately forgotten. I fucking swam in it like 2 weeks ago. Downstrud. No, I don't know.
Yeah, it began with a D.
Oh, it's gonna piss me off.
Okay, so that's the technical.
Fucking Luke taking my phone.
Sorry, wait, I'll find it afterwards. But
yeah.
It wasn't that far from where
the fact that you lived a summer in Vienna, I don't think Polly knows that. She knows you lived in Munich. She didn't know you spent a summer in Vienna.
No,
She's going to be like talking your ear off. She's going to be like, where'd you go? Where'd you hang out? I probably know it. I've probably been there. In fact, I went there for my 13th birthday. That's the type of shit.
I didn't know she was from Vienna. I knew she was
from Vienna.
I didn't know she was from Vienna.
And like from Vienna means second district. That's where she grew up. She like. Dude,
that's crazy to me.
Vienna is such a mad place. Like we were talking about how like if you're in Vienna, you know someone that like is an ambassador or is a diplomat or works in this place and knows this person and they're like up here.
Yeah.
It is a strange place. This cat outside. There's a cat meowing outside the window. Cat is this door, this neighbour's.
Right.
We call it Mr. Grumps. We're fairly sure it's a female cat. We're fairly sure it's called Maisie. But it's been Mr. Grumps for the last 6 months. So, Mr. Grumps it is. And it sits outside our door and sits on our table, which is covered right now, constantly.
Oh my god, it's literally sitting there.
Yeah, every day it waits for us. Don't go in fucking.
Oh, it's looking at me.
Right, we need to wrap this up. We've just breached 3 hours.
We've breached 3 hours. We're now getting sidetracked on Vienna.
Right, there's my Erdinger. That's where I'm at.
That's where we finished.
Erdinger,
I love Weissbier. Erdinger, unfortunately, is not the most Germanic of Weissbier.
It's as close as we could get.
What you can get in England, if you're bordering into Weissbier, you can't hate it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Hey.
I'm a big Weissbier fan.
You are a big Weissbier fan. That's one of the reasons why I got it. I literally saw the word Weissbier on it and I thought, oh, German.
Yeah.
Alright, anyway, dude. It has been fucking phenomenal to see you again.
It's been lovely to do this.
Nice, yeah. We must do this before GTA 6 releases.
We now have to. There we go.
We've shook hands. That is
handshake.
It will happen before then, I believe it, because GTA, here's my speculation, like August plus of 2025.
The 15th of September 2025. That's what I'm going with.
Excellent. Well, there's our guesses, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed. I'm probably going to upload this. It's probably going to be close to 2.5 hours, if that. I'm probably not going to cut out a lot.
Yeah.
It's going to require a lot of editing because you keep saying I ticked off shit, which means I can't really ignore it now.
I did it at the start, so you can just also impose a middle finger where I
I'll just be like, I'm not fucking doing that. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's been fun, mate.
It's been lovely.
We'll have some, hopefully, more good content coming out.
I think so.
Maybe we can record more at some point, I would like to think.
Potentially something tomorrow morning. Let's see what happens.
Actually, tomorrow morning. Oh, tomorrow morning. That's actually such a fucking hot idea, dude.
Maybe. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what's what after, because we're going to the pub later.
Yeah, we'll see. We've now got a lot to get on with.
Yeah, I want to cook a fucking dal, dude. It's 10 to 7. Right, anyway, right. I'll see you later, mate.
Love you all.
Yeah, love you guys. Love you, dude. And I'll see you later.